It's the time of the season when love runs high. In this time, give it to me easy, and let me try with pleasured hands to take you in this time to promised lands, to show you everyone. It's the time of the season for loving. What's your name? Who's your daddy? He rich. Is he rich like me? Has he take us anytime to show you what?
Ignition sequence has started. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We have commit and we have liftoff at 2:13. The Saturn V building up to 7.6 million pounds of thrust, and it is clear.
Come on, everybody, learn the moves. Step right up, do the good body groove.
Come on, everybody, take the chance. Get up and do the good body dance.
Boom, ba boom, ba boom, 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 ba boom, boom, boom.
Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, yeah. Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom.
Meet the challenge in your own special way. Build your body every day. Yeah!
I love my motherfucking Crocs. Get up. Rock.
Work. He's got space heaters. That's not aggravating.
He can't voice above a whisper.
Look at Bobby Friend in chat. Bobby Friend said he's magically suspicious.
He really is.
I love meat sticks. Who's with me? Who loves them? Who loves a good meat stick? Chewing on it, sucking on it.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I can put the wash on the line, feed the kids, get dressed, pass out the kisses, and get to work by 5 and 9. 'Cause I'm a woman, Anjali.
Give her Anjali, the 8-hour perfume for the 24-hour woman.
I can bring home the bacon, Anjali. Fry it up in a pan, Anjali. And never, never, never let you forget your romance. 'Cause I'm a woman.
Anjali, the 8-hour perfume for your 24-hour woman.
You and your underoos. Spider-Man! Can you tell us who is who? The Flash! Is Superman on the left? No, right!
Underoos look out of sight.
Superman!
All of us were all good guys.
The Hulk! You can pick your favorite if you try. Yes, you can! Underwear is fun to wear. It's true when it's you and your underoos. Wow, now there's the Dukes from the Dukes of Hazzard. Bo, Luke, and General Lee. It's true, are all on your underoos.
Stop hating Mondays. Be a professional and hate the whole week instead. Bruh.
Loose cunt.
Hugh Janus, I'm on to you.
Buster Cherry, happy birthday. Great to see you here.
Dixie Normus,
But I will say the name, Craven Moorhead.
So Vandercox, I see you.
Shout to Mike Hunt, happy birthday.
Drew Peacock.
Eating beaver.
Eileen Ulick, I see you.
Jack Mayhoffer, happy
Scoops, Drew Peebles.
Mike Hawkener, happy birthday.
Bill McCrevis, 20.
Oliver Closehoff.
Bill McCracken, happy Dixie Wreck, 20. And Hugh Janus tapping at my leaderboard.
Not Colonel Angus.
Sleepy Joe. Yo, I didn't mean to say that.
Genitalia, happy 1000. You totally got me with that name.
So Fonda Cox, happy birthday to you.
Do you feel that? Do you feel that? Oh, shit.
We're doing it.
Chat family and the greatest panel of friends and all them positive vibes. Oh, it's BF Live.
It is BF Live and it is Wednesday. Welcome to both. Welcome to Wednesday and welcome. It is a family affair here. They know what's up. Sly and the Family Stone knows what's up. It's a chat family affair. Welcome to Wednesday. And welcome to the vibe. I'm going to say it 3 more times. There you go. I said 3 times. Just getting my day started. How's everybody doing today? That's right. September 11th, and I am ready to hang out with 3 hours with you guys. What is good in the stream show hood? This is BF Live, the Vibe Stream Show 380. It's the middle of the day. It's the middle of the week. Who's ready to hang out for 3 hours of fun and positive vibes? We got a bro backstage. We got the chats building up. We're going to get to the chat family check-in. When we get to the news after the chat family check-in at the 1 o'clock hour, we're going to have some really great guests joining us today. I'm really super stoked to have Florence and James from the Forum Celebrity Podcast be guests right here on BF Live. We're going to talk about all things celebrity and just pop culture and everything in general. I think we're going to have a lot of fun bouncing these topics around in the next hour of the show. I got to familiar with them because they did an interview with Bob Levy recently on the Forum Celebrity Podcast. You can find that on Twitter X, and you can find that on under Forum Celebrity Podcast right here on YouTube as well. And I watched it, and it was a really nice interview. And, you know, Bob is our friend and mentor, so they got some different kind of answers out of Bob that particularly on one particular question. So I kind of looked into some of their other stuff. They're into like sports. They're into Howard Stern and all the got similar stuff that we're into. And I said, as a guest, no brainer, let's have James and Florence on BF Live the Vibe. So we're looking forward to having them join us in the second hour. But I'm going to shamelessly say, I'll let you know for those of you that are regular here on BF Live the Vibe, it is a Whack-A-Goal Wednesday, folks. It is that one day where I put all my shame and pride aside, and I kind of look for memberships and super chats. Just one day a week is all I do. So if you can help me out by purchasing a membership or give me a super chat, hook a brother up, I'd certainly appreciate that. But let's have fun. This is what we do. 3 hours of fun and positive vibes. I'm going to bring in my bro backstage. We only got one bro so far. Let's see who else shows up as the day goes on. But I'm going to bring in the guy, he's my friend. He's yours. He's the prop master. He is Scott Fitzpatrick. Come on, Scott.
Hoya.
Happy Hoya, man. It's Wednesday. We made it to the middle of the week, buddy. Hoya.
Hell yeah.
Oh, Hoya, I got too many things on. How you doing today, buddy?
Okay, enjoying the first soda of the day. You know how I feel about that.
Oh, your first soda of the day? You're ready to go? Right, because you're just going to keep drinking them, right?
Yep, the first one goes down good.
Well, I just finished up my coffee. I have my agua here today. Just got me some good old water. I try to drink water to keep me loose on the air, buddy. But
All right.
So what's good, man? Anything good? Been making any fun clips lately, or anything pop off on any shows last night, or what's up?
Well, you know, I was spending a lot of time in the hole, just doing hole stuff, and and nothing really in particular. We had no filter last night. Nothing memorable really came of it that I can remember.
Now, did Andrew show up for that?
Andrew did show up.
Awesome. Well,
But
Andrew
I think he's got an evaluation today. Is why I think he's not here.
Okay, we'll have
And
to see if
he's stressing about it because you know, he's in trouble again. We found out some more things he's been up to, and he's probably in trouble.
In trouble? What are they gonna do? Punish him? Well,
I don't know.
Wow.
He thinks his podcast time's in jeopardy, and
Well, it always kind of is. So I guess he's thinking that anything he does that is going to take a little bit of that away from him. Maybe I'm not sure that's what he's threatened by the most here, Scott. But yeah. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you. And the chats are building up so we're going to do the chat family check-in pretty soon. How about, did you hang out in the lounges or anything last night? The Bobby Nick shows and all that stuff, the members only shows?
no, I mean, I have a hard time getting around to after we do our regular show. I have a hard time getting around to the nighttime guys. But by the time you know by the time you do your own shows, and then if you want to watch a show, and then if you got another channel working on the whole stuff, there just ain't no time, man, to do much.
You're right, Scott, because I'm talking about having Florence and James on. They're all about celebrity, and that reminds me of the movies and pop culture and things that I don't really have time to keep up with a whole lot, Scott. There's so much that we will talk about, and there'll probably be stuff that maybe I don't watch, but that's what I want to have them on, so we can kind of compare notes on some of the things that we do like together. Maybe they can turn us on to some things that they're into, and vice versa. And also, that's what I like about doing this. And also, we're going to meet them. Like I said, they did a good interview with, they did a fun interview with Bob Levy, and I'll wait until they get here to tell you what they kind of got out of Bob that I really like, because, you and I have seen many interviews with Bob Levy, and when they ask a serious question about, like, how do you want to be remembered, he would always give like a goofy answer, right? More or less.
Right,
he don't always give you a straight answer, but he gave a kind of straight answer. We'll talk about that when they come on here and everything. But we're going to do they're going to join us for the not so serious news. And so, like I said, it'll be a little celebrity centric. What I promised today on the thumbnail, I just simply said that our guests will be Florence and James of the Forum Celebrity Podcast. But let's see what stories I do have in the hopper when we get over there. When I give it to my news desk, we're going to do one about, let's see. We're going to talk about Bill Belichick, the ongoing story with Bill Belichick and this, that girl, Jordan Hudson, his girlfriend, granddaughter's looking girlfriend. There's another story with them in the news about her being busy in his kind of life and his affairs. We'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about, we talk about AI and things like that here every day on The Vibe, and we utilize AI here on The Vibe. And one of the things they utilize AI for is facial recognition. I know they're starting to use it in airports and different places. We're going to do a story about a suit going on with Home Depot where they didn't tell people they were doing facial recognition. And Scott, we're also going to talk about Corey Feldman is back in pop culture news, man. So we'll have fun talking about that, doing this story and getting their opinions on kind of Corey from back in the day and recently, right?
Right. Is that Charlie Sheen related?
No, but no, Scott, not in the way that you fear. Scott's been putting ever since and we're going to talk about the Charlie Sheen memoir coming out too, hopefully with James and Florence when they get here. But Scott was totally disturbed to find out when we did his little story yesterday that Charlie said when he was on drugs, he might have went and played with the other team, if you will. He might have did something with men and everything, right? So
he was a manly man to me. I just didn't.
I totally bust your Charlie Sheen macho bubble by telling you that little blurb out of his memoir, and then you connected it with a Corey Feldman story that you knew about, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, so that's the kind of fun stuff I want to talk about, Scott, because, I'll bring up Charlie Sheen or Corey Feldman, and then you or people in the chat or probably James and Florence will have like a related story. Oh, did you hear this kind of story? And you did that to me yesterday with this one. So that's a wild one. And I know a lot of those crazy stories about Corey being exploited in Hollywood are out there, right?
Yeah, there is. Hollywood is sick, man.
Hollywood, well, in that regard, we know those Corey stories with Michael Jackson and the like and all. And, they've made some claims and all. So I'll let you know what Corey Feldman is up to. His latest entertainment venture, Scott. He's not giving up, man. He's going to be that star entertainer one day, no matter what. Nobody's ever going to stop him. All right, man. Well,
it's going to hit. It's going to hit for him soon. I can feel it.
You're right. It's kind of that thing, Scott. It's like if I just keep at it, just keep plugging away at it, we'll do that. And then we'll see if we can do like the National Day calendar check or whatever stuff we have time to get into right here on the Vibe. Let's see what kind of clips I pulled for us today. That's a good one. Let me see. Let's see. This is this one. Play a little clip, and then we'll get over and do. This is crazy. Somebody just threw this in my box yesterday, Scott. I'm just gonna share a random clip with you because these great people in this community are always, if they find something wacky, they send it to me at bflive420@gmail.com, and I'll share it with you or make it part of the show here. So, Scott, I was like, I don't know if this is a joke or what. I could almost put it. Look at what I'm looking at here. Watch. Now, at this point, you're asking yourself, is that kid sitting in Lightning McQueen hitting a vape pen? Right? That's what they're doing, Scott.
Oh, man.
This is like, and look, I think there's some telltale signs because there's like some Russian wording in the background. But let's what now that you got the context, look at what we're looking at here.
Oh, jeez.
They just chilling in Lightning McQueen, hanging out on the deck. Look, see the Russian writing right there?
Yeah.
Bro, they live in that rough life over there in Russia, son. Like I got to pull up with my Lightning McQueen and hit my vape pen rough kind of shit. What in the hell, Scott? I think the title on that one, I saw it said, somebody said, come get your kids. Come get your kids. I'm like, you definitely, I always say I got to look at things twice, Scott, for many reasons because of context and all. And there's so much going on and you're good at that, at looking at all the other little context clues. And I'm like, they're sitting in Lightning McQueen, hitting a vape pen. There's Russian language. Like, what am I watching here? I could almost made that part of our WTF. What the fuck is this segment we do? Or what the F is this segment right here? But let's see. I can show you one more. Well, I'm going to show you that one. I have so much great stuff in my hopper right here. All right. I don't know if Andrew's going to. Yes, go ahead, buddy.
I bet those kids have excellent grades.
You think they have excellent grades? Yeah. All right. Well, this works out really good because I think this will work out great for the first part of the show before our other guests join us, Scott. We got a surprise backstage. Although I had a clue this guy might be hanging out to join us a little bit. You ain't going to believe this, Scott. It's the one, the only, Canada's most famous weatherman, the one and only Frankie McDonald. Steps in on the vibe. Franklin.
I think you're here for this. I'm an author, book. Be prepared to fight down guy your life, weather, and everything. People can get them on Amazon.
Yes, you can. It's right here, Frankie McDonald. You know I have my own copy, and I saw your promotional video. Let me go to my folder over here because somebody shared some information with me. The lovely Stormy let me know that you're a book guy, but we know that. You can get it on, you said it's 48 pages, and you can get it on Amazon.com, correct?
Yes.
How's it going today, Frankie? What's up?
Great so far. And after this, I got another interview with a Midnight Hostility podcast.
Midnight Hostility podcast. Just a guest checks in and says hello to you, Frankie McDonald. There you go.
Thank you, great so far.
Well,
and as you're here about this, Gino will be doing the show at 4 o'clock Atlantic, 3 o'clock Eastern. Gino will be starting the podcast in the Hot Water Show. Then I got an interview with Ham Radio at 8:30 Eastern, 9:30 Atlantic tonight.
Nice. You got Gino later, your boy Ham Radio. Frankie's got a full day. Well, thank you, Frankie. I'm glad that you stopped by here. I'm going to play. Stormy showed me like a little video here. Let me go to. Yeah. I'll share this link right here, and you can go. I recommended this last time that Frankie was on the show. Frankie likes to stop by and promote his book. Be prepared. There it is, right there on Amazon, Frankie. That's the link that Stormy sent me. Right there, Amazon.com. It's 48 pages, like you said. And Frankie says in his promotional video that you can see all the pictures of Frankie when he was a child, and you can learn where his young love from weather came from and all the alike. And he'll tell you how to be prepared for storms and stuff like that. Right there, Frankie McDonald, the Frankie McDonald Guide to Life, Weather, and Everything, available on Amazon.com. There you go. Look at that, Aunt Frankie. It says, I purchased mine on August 21st, 2022. I've had this book for 3 years, Frankie McDonald. That's how long. Yeah. That's how long I've been a friend of my bro, Frankie McDonald. And I got your bobblehead, too, that you get at the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame.com. The Frankie McDonald bobblehead. Pre-orders, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. Very good, Frank. So you got your whole schedule of shows today. Hey, did you stop in on the Content House?
I was stopped in Content House on Friday.
On Friday? Yeah, how long did you stay on there? Was it fun?
I was talking to Christy Mayer. Things are great so far.
Yeah, I saw you eating pizza somewhere, Frankie. Where were you eating pizza from?
East Side Mario's Mayflower Mall.
That looked really good, Frank. Are you a pepperoni guy? What was on that thing?
Yes.
Pepperoni?
Yes, I had East Side Mario's pizza.
East Side who?
East Side Mario's.
East Side Mario's pizza, pepperoni pizza, Frankie. I saw you. I caught a little bit of you on the Content House, and when your pizza came, you were like, you checked out. You left the Content House, didn't you?
Then I rejoined the Content House about Best Buy.
You went up to Best Buy and then rejoined them? That's awesome. Well, Frankie's always hanging out on all the shows. Let me see who's in the chat right here. Stormy shared the link right there if you want to purchase Frankie's book right there. Like I said, I highly recommend it. Like I said, there are great pictures in here of Frankie when he was quite younger, and I don't know how many show up on my screen with the green screen going on, but let me see. The one and only Frankie McDonald steps in on the vial. I was going to look at. Oh, here's a good picture of Frankie when he was a kid. I mean,
I've only read one book since I graduated high school, and that's the book I read right there.
Is that right? Well, that's an honor right there. Look, there's a little picture of Frankie when he was a kid right there. Look at that. You can see that kind of stuff if you get your own copy at Amazon.com. I've had mine for 3 years, I say proudly, but get yours. I highly recommend it, man, because Frankie, what weather is going on lately? You got any weather reports for us?
I'm in Nova Scotia to get a major heat wave for rest of this week into Hall next week, where Anthony Rogers lives in Missouri. From Missouri, that's home of the Anthony Rogers Show.
Anthony Rogers, boys, you know all the guys, and you know where they all live, Frankie. So, yeah, the winter's coming here in the United States and all. You looking forward to the winter?
Yes, in Japan, too. In Europe.
In Japan. Scott, 70% pictures, Terry Nee says. That's why it's a good book for you. That's why I highly recommend it for guys, because people that don't like too many words in here, you learn a lot about Frankie, and there won't be too many words to hurt your head, like Terry Nee suggests. We haven't even done the opening chat family check-in because we got Frankie McDonald joining us today. Awesome, man. Have you been to Popeyes lately? What have you been up to?
Last week I was at Popeyes.
Yeah, last week you were at Popeyes. Hey, Frankie, do you go bowling up there?
That was a while back.
You went a while back. I've never talked. Wow, Scott, you looking them nards clean. Hey, wait a minute. What's up, man? He's just having fun with the guest here, the one and only Frank McDonald, Canada's most famous weather man. Yeah, Frankie.
What about my dad, SoundCloud, Mystic Mist?
Ah, Mystic Mist. Throw that link in that private chat, Frankie. I don't know if I have it real quick, but you do that, and we'll enjoy. Frankie's dad has a band, like he just said, called Mystic Mist. He's going to throw the link in the private chat now, and I'll share it with you. We're going to do our little Frankie hangout here. And then when we're done with Frankie, we'll do the opening chat family check-in. All right. All right, here it is in the private chat, so I'm going to click on that. I'm going to throw that over here. I'm going to do this screen share, and we're going to enjoy the latest hit. Oh, wait a minute. You gave me your dad's whole page. Is it Lady Luck, right? That's the latest one?
Yes.
Lady Luck. All right, here we go. This is Mystic Mist, Frankie McDonald's. Sound coming through?
Yeah.
Good. This is on SoundCloud.com. Mystic Mist, MYSTIC, MYST. Frankie McDonald steps in the vibe.
That's my dad.
I love it. There you go. You heard the man say it. Let me take that link out of there and I'll throw it in the chat. Copy.
Yeah.
And then I'll throw it in the chat, Frankie. Here we go. If you want to click on this and listen to any of Frankie's dad's music, Mystic Mist on SoundCloud right there. That's how you get to it. Click on that link. Frankie always stops by when Dad has a new song. Awesome. I know hockey season's starting. Frankie loves hockey.
Vancouver Giants is also starting in. Frankfurt Bulldogs is starting as well.
Hell yeah, Frankie. I know you're going to be at all them games.
And Vancouver Giants, too.
Vancouver Giants, cool. Sounds like the voice in my head at 3 o'clock. Get up and go to the bathroom. Don't piss your pants. Frankie McDonald steps in, playing his dad's music, Mystic Miss, Lady Luck. Did you have anything to eat yet today, Frankie? What'd you have for breakfast?
I had chicken, beef rice ribs with hot dogs.
Did you? I had the little pancakes, little silver dollar pancakes, buddy.
That's lunch, not breakfast. That's lunch, not breakfast.
Yeah, yours is lunch, not breakfast. Yeah, I don't know. Mystic Miss Lady Luck, the latest from Frankie McDonald's dad. You can get it by clicking on the link I just threw into the chat. Right there. Click on that link. You can listen to this anytime you want. Let me see. I know what the next thing Frankie's going on to do.
I'm going on our podcast right now. Midnight Hostility Podcast.
Are you?
See you soon.
Wait. Checking out? I was going to find your song, Frankie. You want to dance our way out? Let's do the Frankie dance on the way out, Frankie. Come on, ready? Yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
This is Frankie McDonald.
This is Frankie. I'm glad he made us a pit stop.
Extreme cold air is headed towards Minnesota.
Canada's most famous weatherman stops in on the vibe for positive vibes.
Be prepared.
Boom.
Cold like Minnesota. Cold like Minnesota. Cold like Minnesota. Cold like Minnesota.
Very cold weather in the state of Minnesota.
Very cold weather in the state of Minnesota. Cold like Minnesota.
Not sure what Scott's doing right there. Looks like he's doing something sexual, but okay. Yeah. Very cold weather. Frankie McDonald steps into the vibe, the one and only.
Cold weather in the state of Minnesota. Don't leave your pencil tight.
In the state of Minnesota.
Don't leave your dog so tight. In the state of Minnesota. Drink lots of green tea. Drink lots of white tea. Drink lots of red tea. Dress very, very warm. Cold like Minnesota.
Cold like Minnesota. Frankie McDonald, thank you for stopping in on the vibe. You're welcome any day and every day. Canada's most famous weatherman. There's where you can get his book on Amazon.com. There's the quick hit. Scott, we got it in, buddy.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Go. I know that you remember when we first started doing shows where Frankie would do his drop-ins, bro, and we wouldn't even get our hand up to say goodbye, and he would be gone, right?
I know. I've only been able to say bye to him maybe twice.
You can write. It's very rare that you actually get an opportunity. That is Canada's, for anybody that's never seen him before, or just first joining BF Live The Vibe, that is Canada's most famous weatherman, Frankie McDonald. We got to know him through his viral videos where he told us to save our batteries and make sure we have our pizza and make sure we have our Pepsi because it's going to storm. So he always wanted to make sure that you were prepared. So you have to be prepared. You have to go on Amazon.com. You know, Scott, we have a half hour to rifle through the opening chat family check-in before our guests join us at the top of the hour at 1 o'clock. So this is working out great. But I like the comment that Terry Nee threw in there about this being lots of pictures. Because I mean, look, he tried to knock you down. I mean, I was going to build you up. You know, you were proud that you read a book, and I'm like, there you go. That's what, right. That's what I try to build you up. Terry Nee's like, they ain't got nothing but pictures in it. There you go. But that's all right. Let's see what Terry Nee said, and let's see what everybody else said when I go to run my element. The glasses are already on. We've already had fun with Frankie McDonald checking in. We're going to have some guests join us at the end of the chat family check-in. News and comment. We're going to have Florence and James join us for hour number 2 from the Forum Celebrity Podcast. But right now, post them if you got them, folks. Well, let us know what you're up to today on this fine day. It's the middle of the day. It's the middle of the week. It is a Wackago Wednesday, I'll remind you. I won't rub it in too much in front of my guests, but I'll remind you as much as I can beforehand that if you'd like to help me anyway with a membership or a super chat, it would be most appreciated, most especially on this day. But I'm going to run my element. You guys let me know what you're up to. This is Wednesday. This is BF Live The Vibe Stream Show 380, and this is the opening chat family check-in. We're about to establish the vibe for the show. Let me know what you're doing, folks. Are you at work? Are you at home? You got me in your ear hole. What are you doing? Are you lurking and working? Hi, lurkers and workers. I know that some of you are too busy and you don't have time to actually type in, but I know you're out there. But I'm going to acknowledge the chatters right now. This is the opening chat family check-in. It's Wednesday. Let's go.
Amongst yourselves.
That's right. That is what's going on right now. That's what the vibe's all about. You talk amongst yourselves. You talk with me and Scott and maybe Frankie, or whoever shows up. Even I didn't know that was going to happen today. So you have to show up for BF Live the Vibe for 3 hours of fun. Let's see what happens with the opening chat family check-in, folks. Post them up. Post them if you got them. It is that time. I will read them in rapid succession. And the vibe will be established for this show and this day. I'm happy that Scott's here with me, and I'm glad the chat family's here with me. Let's go, let's go. And they're off. We whip the horse. And the festivities begin with Pecan shouting out, says, Goonie Goo Goo, you begonias. Happy hump day. He throws in his very own pecan emoji. He says, Unga Bunga, and what do you gano, gano, gano. So let's go, my friend, Pecan. Gano, 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 And my friend Pecan always consistently checks in with a most appreciated $2 super chat, and he goes, oh shit, we're doing it, and we're having it to Kyle, and fuck yeah, let's do it, come on. He said, fuck yeah, let's go. Yeah. I said, yeah.
We're doing it.
Thank you, my friend, there's that. And it is Wackago. It is Wackago Wednesday, so thank you, Pecan. Then he has fun with all of the membership emojis right there, utilizing those. Thank you, Pecan. Then he adds a family member literally every day of the week, Monday through Friday, and he adds another one, a gifted membership he adds, because Pecan is a member defender right here on the vibe. On this whacker. Thank you, my friend Pecan. And then Homeless Hoovy has been lifted and gifted by that one, so thank you for letting me know that. Homeless Hoovy jumps right in and says, Pecan, you are the GOAT. Oh, I need to buy you a beer, and he has fun with the Andrew emojis. There you go. So right away, he gets the membership, and he has fun with the Andrew emojis. Andrew's not with us today. There's a Wendy Pack emoji from the Howard Stern show. There's Andrew. There's myself. There's all of us. There's Pecan, but you can only utilize them if you're a member here on the vibe. And now Homeless Hoovy can. Pecan says, you got it, to Cal Brother. There's the Armchair Comic emojis being utilized by Just a Guest, saying number 8, but I say you're number 1, Just a Guest. Good day, Pecan emojis being utilized by Just a Guest. Pecan shouts out Just a Guest with the Hoya. HIGH, everyone, says Tiffany Washington, checking in on Wednesday. On the vibe, welcome Tiffany Washington. There's the Nightbot running the Shawnee Zone. You'll also notice I will have a bot running, if I want to see it. There should be a bot running for the Forum Celebrity Podcast as well, so you'll be able to make a connection with them. But there's the Nightbot running all of our friends. It's Brian Clauder time. It's time to vote for that asshole Brian Clauder. So let's pull that up, as he was so named by Stuttering John. It's that asshole Brian Clauder. Now you say, what do we mean voting for? Is he running for president, BF? No, not quite. Brian has got himself involved in a contest where it says you decide who wins the sinister $13,000 and meets Jamie Lee Curtis, Matthew Lillard, and Kane Hodder. So he's trying to be involved in this contest, but it said what I described right there. Limited time, 2 votes for 1. He's currently first in this latest round of voting. He has 1 day and 9 hours, folks, so go there every day. It's free. You just kind of You just match up your Facebook credentials with it. It's free. All they want to know is that you're a Facebook, that you have a Facebook site and all. But yeah, he's trying to win $13,000. He's just trying to have a little more fun. And maybe if he wins, he'll get that money and he'll get an opportunity to be a little extra or do a little something in a movie. That's for our chat family bro, Brian Clutter. Go vote for him if you can. There it is right there. Florence and James on the Forum Celebrity Podcast. I shared their X right there. I noticed that they utilize X for a lot of their when they do some of their streaming. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about like how they do their thing and maybe some of the things that they think is best or what works for them when they come on after right after this opening chat family check-in and at the beginning of the Vibe Not So Serious News. Dang Lizard checks in and says, "Hoya everyone." What's up, Dang Lizard? How you doing, my friend?
I see nothing. I know nothing.
I did see that he says he has a new Chad lip and butt chin. Oh, it's premiering today at 6 p.m. East on the Dang Lizard channel right here on the YouTubes. We showed the first 3 of them, I believe, right here on the Vibe. We enjoy those little fun vignette cartoons that are kind of Chad and Ray DeVito themed, but they're based on Beavis and Butthead. Well done by our talented friend Dang Lizard. Check that out at 6 p.m. East for the premiere. Hey, Tiff from Just a Guest. Hey, Justa right back from Tiff. Hey, Tiffany Washington from Pecan. Dang Lizard gets the Hoya from Pecan. Tiffany Washington says to hey to Dang Lizard. There's the Nightbot running my membership link. I have $9.99 a month level, and for as little as $4.99 a month if you choose to support me that way. You can do it right there. Tiffany Washington says it's the 10th BF, not the it's the what did I put up the 10th and I say the 11th? What do I did, Tip? Look, I got this, but I probably did Freudian, a Freudian slip or something, Tiff, say the 11th. Because, Scott, I always say that I'm a day ahead. Like, even like today, I'll start preparing tomorrow's show. And if I go upstairs, I'll already start thinking it's like tomorrow. So my days are always kind of mixed up. I'm already into the next day. Go ahead.
I rarely know what the date is.
That's why it's a big reason why I always put it up here on this format right here, because it really, seeing it right here makes, okay, yeah, it is Wednesday the 10th, Bob. It's not the 11th show that you're planning for. It's still the 10th right here. So thank you for clearing me up on that if I misspoke there. Tiffany Washington. And let me see if I got some pretty colors in here. Oh, it skipped on me, of course. Let me see where the skip went. Yeah, whoa, I see some pretty colors in here. Awesome. And I see some friends checking in. Let me see. Where'd I leave off? Oh, wait, I know somebody's in here. West 11 Bravo's in here. We got, let me get up here. Boy, there it is. We left off right there. And then we got Just a Guest saying, hey, Tiff. And then we got Hey, Justa from Tiffany Washington. Pecan is shouting out all the friends right there. There's the Nightbots running. It's the 10th. I probably said the 11th. That's where we left off right there. There they are checking in the chat. They're ready to go. They're pumped. I sent them both the link, and they got back to me right away. They're so enthusiastic about coming on the BF Live, The Vibe, and we are looking forward to you coming on at the end of this and beginning of the news. Scott Hoya, prop master from Pecan.
Hoya commish.
There's West 11 Bravo checking in, saying 10th of September. I'm at work. Started taking, what's this, methylene blue, and my pee is a pleasant neon green. It's worth taking it just for that. Well, that's interesting. Thank you for, first of all, thank you for I guess I did it was Freudian slip because multiple people heard me saying the 11th, I guess. How you doing, Wes? 11 Bravo. Hi, BF HIGH from Tiffany Washington. There's Matt checking in. Matt Problems. BF and the Midday Freaks. What's up, Matt? Checking in. Hi, asshole. Now, wait a minute. I know my name, so I'm guessing Scott.
That's for me.
I know. There you go. There you go. You're on a first name basis. Prop Master. There you go. You're getting your acknowledgement from Matt right there.
Brother Matt.
There's Scott's links running for Angry Iguana and the Prop Master 96. And there's the James and Florence link running throughout the entirety of the show. The Forum Celebrity Podcast, you're getting the Hoya, and that's our welcome here on the Vibe. I don't know how much they've taken in of the Vibe to know. What are they saying Hoya to me? Hoyas are just kind of silly. It just occurred to me, Scott, when I'm reading them, they're probably like, Hoya, they're hitting me with the Hoya. Well, we already did a Gano. Let's hit them with the Hoya.
Can I get a Hoya? Can I get a Hoya?
Clipping and dipping and cripping and dipping steps in. How you doing, buddy? You getting a shout out from Clipping right there, buddy? Scott Patrick.
Hey, Clipping. I can't remember what show it was on, but me and Bobby Nick was on something, and we're doing the back and forth, the Takao and the Hoya, and I can't remember who was on with us, but I remember him saying, "I'm tired of your your silly BF live talk.
Oh, that's the vernacular here on BF Live. Yeah, stop hitting me with all the BF. Oh, you hit them with too much of it, Scott. And they're like, I'm tired. Yeah, you made them feel like they were out of the loop or something, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's what it was. Don't worry, you're in the loop. They can talk. I like that we have our kind of own vernacular going on over here.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the clip for the next person that we're going to introduce here in the chat family check-in the way we do.
Must be nerd.
Yeah, it is. My folder's getting so full. Let's do this. I'm like, here we go. I think I found it.
Until now, our mission has been that of space law regulation, contact with Earth colonies, and investigation of alien life. But now, a new task. A probe out into where no man has gone before. Space.
Nerd steps in to the live on a Wednesday afternoon, and she says, Hoya, you Hoyas. Hoya to you, Space Nerd. Good morning to BF Live, she says, and I'd say, ditto to you. Pecan gets the nerd call out in the Hoya. Widow Killer says, does it have to do with Perry's guitar? Everything has to do with Perry's guitar. How you doing, Widow Killer? Checking in on the vibe. Hey there, Pecan. Always a pleasure. Tonight, Bot's running Pecan's link for Pecan 420. If you want to see the fun wrestling matches where he takes the actual people in this community. I don't know. I have to see if we get our new people in the wrestling matches eventually here. But all of the people in our community, you can see them in wrestling matches if you click on Pecan 420 right there. Tiffany Washington checks in with a most large, beautifully colored, $5 generous super chat saying, love you, BF, but don't let others make it hard to openly talk to others. Bart is okay. Let's say, but don't let others make it hard to openly talk to others.
What the hell are you talking about, Tiff? God.
I'm not sure. You know we're open forum here on BF Live pretty much. There you go. Maybe she meant that's what we do here on the vibe. Thank you, Tiffany Washington. That really helps me for my Whack-A-Goal Wednesday goal. There we go, right here.
I don't know what it means, man. I got to know.
All right, we'll see if she clears it up in the chat a little bit. Let's continue on. Thank you for that $5 super chat, though. Most appreciated. Pecan gets acknowledged, and the Pecan emoji utilized by Space Nerd checking in. West 11 Brother says, Widow Killer, that is a display prop guitar only. We're talking about that handcrafted piece of thing that Bobby Ferrera made for Perry Caravella.
Shut the fuck up.
It's nothing. Nobody knows who Bobby Ferrera is. Hey, nerd from Tiffany Washington. There's the reminder to vote for Brian again. Wes says, Space Nerd, check you out with Yo Wrench. Oh, yeah, she said that for a minute. Let's see. Tiffany Washington says, hey to Wes. FJM checks in and says, not late and gay. Good afternoon to you all. FJM, the calcified kid. Keeping those arteries clean, the calcified kid, FJM checks in. Hey, FJM from Tiffany Washington. Hey, Tiffany Washington. Been a while, my friend, says West 11 Bravo. Widow Killer says, that's why we won the Cold War. Vaping in the car? I don't know, maybe something like that. Written Off checks in and says, good afternoon, friends. Could you hit the like and share button, please? Thank you, Written Off, because I know that you all guys like me because you're kind of here every day. But let YouTube know, so maybe they'll give me a little more favor in their kind of stream algorithms. Let's see. Tiffany Washington checks in and says, yes, it has. Have you been? There's the Florence link again. And James, hey, Written Off. Hey, Widow Killer from Tiffany Washington. Written Off says, good afternoon to myself and you, Scott Fitzpatrick.
Written Off.
Frankie McDonald gets acknowledged when he checked in. That was a good surprise, fun surprise there, Scott.
Yeah, I didn't know who to expect when you were bringing him in. I thought it was going to be Bobby Nick.
Yeah, I heard a little boot backstage, and I'm like, oh, here comes Andrew. And, Andrew's going to come in on fire, right? But it wasn't Andrew, but I was super happy to have anybody, and it was the one and only Frankie McDonald. FJM gets acknowledged by Stormy. I mean, right there from Pecan. Here's Stormy. She says, I made sure you didn't have your other guest here yet before I sent the link. Thank you, Stormy, because when you sent me some information indicating to me that Frankie might be around this morning, I'm like, ooh, I hope the timing works out to where they don't have to step on each other. But Stormy being the producer extraordinaire that she is, she knew exactly when to time it because she knew I was having guests on. Thank you, Stormy, for making our show that much better this morning. Written Off Hoya from our friend Pecan. Hey, Stormy from Tiffany Washington. Stormy says, thanks for joining, Frankie. And I thank Stormy for making that happen in the background. What's up, Frankie from Written Off? Stormy, good afternoon from Pecan. Stormy acknowledges Tiffany Washington. FJM says, Frost Fuel Snow Caps. Oh, that must be his strain, Scott. They come up with some names for these things. Frost Fuel Snow Caps.
I like the sound of that.
Look, you sound like you're coughing to get off over there already. I don't know if you're just a regular cough or if you're coughing to get off. Oh, you did. That sounded like one. Peacunt Hoya from our friend Written Off. Frankie gets acknowledged from Peacunt. Stormy acknowledges Peacunt. Let's see. Hiya, Stormy from Written Off. Widow Killer Hoya from Peacunt checking in. Stormy threw out the link for Amazon. I hope you enjoy that Frankie book. I really do. Now, Scott, I'm proud of you for reading that book. I don't care what Terry Nee says. I'm not counting the pictures, anybody. You know, I'm proud of you. Wasn't it really neat, like kind of learning about Frankie and how, like, where did he get all this love for weather and kind of how he ended up where he is today. You kind of learn all that.
The thing I remember most from it was like his childhood pictures and him playing drums or something, and seeing him grow up, pictures like that. I don't remember nothing else about it.
That's good. Whatever you get out of it. Tiffany Washington says, I'm enjoying Gary Patton on a peanut butter edible cookie, FJM. They're all naming their favorite strains in here. There you go, Scott. See, 70% pictures. Don't look, reading is fundamental. Don't be cutting my boy Scott down. Any effort, any reading is a good thing, Terry. Don't do that. Let me see. Hey, Terry from our friend Tiffany Washington. Wow, Scott. There you go. Looking at them nards clean. We got that. Now, Scott was just doing his thing. He knows how to promote somebody. You gotta talk, Frankie up when somebody comes on here. Scott knows the game. He's just doing his thing, man. Right there. There was the link that I threw out there for Frankie's father. He's always throwing some songs out there every couple months, and you can find all of them on SoundCloud under Mystic Mist. That's Frankie McDonald's father's band. Let me see. Sounds like the voice in my head at 3 a.m. said about that music right there. Good morning. What's that? Bravo. BF Live. Scott Mandy Div steps in on the vibe. The Hoya goes to Mandy Diff from Space Nerd and Hoya Matt from Space Nerd. Pecan shouts out Mandy Diff. The gay monkey jizz steps in and says, hey, Scott, I think of you every time I log in. Oh, my God. Wait a minute.
Oh, man. He would show up today.
The gay monkey is going to make an appearance on the vibe. Nerd shout out from Mandy Diff. Clippin says, I'm lurking and working. Thanks for letting us know that, man. If you keep us in your ear hole, we'll keep the fun going for you. There's the Nightbot running for Andrew the Giant. You mean this guy, Andrew the Giant? Andrew the Giant.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we got Andrew the Giant, Scott. Right on time. How you doing, buddy?
Sorry, I was late. I was eating dinner. I got a hard out at 2 o'clock. I have a meeting. Yeah.
I'm glad you said out and not something else. Got a hard out at 2 o'clock. All right, Andrew. Well, we're going to have our guest joining us at the top of the hour, and also we're going to try to keep all the talking lanes clean, if you know what I mean. No, you were on Jibs last night. Tiff, you're pulling a bybee. You pull your comment up. New York strips, baked potato, broccoli. That's what she's got me slaving over today. FJM is on kitchen duty again. Well, that sounds like a good thing to be working on, FJM. Sounds pretty good to me. I was having fun with people. That's all that matters. There you go. Hoya Space Nerd. There you go. All right, we're going to get through this. Now we're going to get to the part of the opening chat family check-in. I'm not going to get too much in each individual conversation. I'm just going to acknowledge any new friends that we haven't acknowledged yet until we get to the 1 o'clock hour. We got Andrew joining us. Already voted for Brian Clauder. You can get that done in the meantime. Hey, Andrew, you missed Frankie McDonald.
Okay.
Uh-oh. He just, Scott, he just joined us to do his live somewhere else.
Yeah. I was posting the Instagram reel.
He was playing the game last night and then paused it and did no filter. So that means he was on pause for 3 hours.
On pause for 3 hours. Just pause alive. Okay. FJM gets shout out by Clipping and Dipping. Matt gets acknowledged by FJM. You're ignoring what we're talking about. FJM. No, I got it, Tiffany Washington, where I'm just kind of catch up with this chat, girlfriend. We already took care of it. Good morning, boys. I tried to stay awake, but I asked out again. Our hard-working third shift fellow and friend, Wavy G, checks in on the vibe. You never know if we're catching him mid-sleep, mid-awake. You never know, but always checking in. BF Live the Vibe. Can you put up Dang Lizard's channel so I can subscribe? Let me see if I can find that real quick. Let me say QRST. I'm doing something.
Brother Matt's good at that shit.
Okay. Hi, folks. I'm already made. Your view is very important to us here on The Vibe. Now, I'm going to go to youtube.com. She asked me to share Dang Lizard. So I click on Dang Lizard. I'm already subscribed to him, so now I click on it. And then I click on a share option while Andrew makes noises while I talk. Let me see. Not saying anything in particular. Share channel. And I hit copy. And then I hit paste. And then I throw it in the chat. And if you want to go see the latest chat lip and butt chin from the talented Dang Lizard, you can go right there. How far across the pond are you, ABG? Oscar Electric checks into the vibe. Scott Fitzpatrick.
Oscar.
And he acknowledges the space nerd. Hey, Wavy from Tiffany, Washington. We are nearing the end of the opening chat family check-in. Tiff gets all the love from Oscar Electric. There you go. Matt says, here you go, space nerd. And he already threw it out there before I even said it, Scott Fitzpatrick.
Yep,
I should have known that.
He's the man.
He is the man. FJM gets acknowledged by Oscar Electric. Hey, Oscar from Tiffany, Washington. Matt gets acknowledged by Oscar. Oscar acknowledges Matt in return. Nee gets the acknowledgement from Oscar Electric. Thank you to Matt from Space Nerd. Hoya to Oscar Electric from Space Nerd. We got Space Nerd doing the Hoyas. We got multiple Hoyas, 3 Hoyas in a row. Pull it together, man. Talking to me, you talking to Scott. You could be talking to any of us. The AI doll form of me, if you're a member here, you can utilize that sticker. We're nearing the end. I'm probably going to getting through the opening chat family check-in. The rockets are up. Oscar Electric to Cal from Pecan. 2 joins checks in, Scott. There he is. This dude. Every time I turn on No Filter with Andrew and Friends, or even Bobby Nick late at night, I always see our friend 2 joints just hanging out all the time, Scott.
Yeah, he does the late nights and everything, man. He's on it with Bobby Nick pretty much all the time.
Easygoing, fun dude. No matter what's going on, people could be running each other over and saying all kind of shit. And he's like, "Hey, man," you're like, "Whatever." He's like, "I'm just trying to keep it 100 or whatever." Always keeping it 100 is our friend 2 joints checking in.
I haven't known him that long, but I already get the feel from him. I've had the feel for a long time that he's one of the better people I've met doing this stuff, man.
I tend to agree with that early assessment. Spawn says, "Smash a goal, smash my ass." Good day to you, BF and Scott. Come on. You know it's Whack-A-Go Wednesday, Spawn. I'm making away to another pretty super chat. There's 100 Proof Podcasting Discord link. That's the other show I do. I do that on Thursdays and Saturdays with my friend, the people that are regular here on The Vibe. And welcome any new friends. I do it with Chris fucking Abels. Yeah, that's Kevin Brennan. There's a comedian, Chris Abels, that we do a show with. We watch videos and we spin a wheel. We drink, smoke, laugh, and joke. And we spin the wheel. We got to do whatever the wheel dictates. 8:45 on 100 Proof Podcasting, the channel that's mentioned right there, right here on YouTube. Come join us on 8:45 on Thursdays and Saturday nights. FJM, the Calcified Kid from Space Nerd. There's the Nightbot running in my membership link again. Tiffany Washington hits me again. Holy moly. Yes. Scott, I can't believe it. BF, people who used to be around now can't enjoy everyone because we are deemed traitors. Well, it all depends on who you listen to and how many F's you give there, Tiffany Washington. Yeah. And I give many F's that you're here giving me $5, and then you gave me $5 again on a Whack-A-Goal Wednesday. You're in the place to be, Tiff. Don't drink. Yes.
Sometimes when we call people traitors, Tiff takes a lot of this stuff literal, man. Sometimes when we're joking, she don't get it. Maybe, I'm not sure what she's referring to there, but she might have just took something too literal.
The other.
Oh, maybe Bobby's a traitor. That's for sure.
Wait a minute. See? There you go. I can't keep up with who likes who. Let me see. I like who I like. Blueberry Muffin over here. Puff Puff Pass says Space Nerd. She's naming her favorite strain over here that she's enjoying. Spawn, hello. It's good to see you, says our friend Space Nerd. Andrew emojis are being utilized by my membership supporting friend Just a Guest right here. There you go. Look at that. He's enjoying you. Fuck yeah, Andrew. Look at that. There you go. Andrew emoji by Matt. Here's Andrew. There you go. And there, you can click on that and you can find, that's Florence and James, the Forum Celebrity Podcast on Twitter X. That's where you can find their Twitter, and that'll lead you to their YouTube. You can find the Bob Levy interview and some of the other stuff that they've done. We're going to talk to them really soon. What's up, Big Pimpin' Andrew from Pecan?
I was hoping I'd get at least some part of this because this is a bad day to have a meeting because
I don't think any day you would like to say you're never. Andrew's never going to say this is a good day. I feel good about having a meeting today. I don't think that day's ever going to happen for you. But Oscar Electric shouts you out with the big Drew.
Hey, Oscar Electric, my brother.
Andrew says, the gay monkey jizz says, Andrew, you missed Frankie McDonald, but you didn't miss the gay monkey jizz. Oh, you got to dodge that. Oh. Look out, look out, look out. I see OJ. Oh, look out. Let's see. Crippen says, thanks, Tiff, for supporting BF. I thank her too, man. Appreciate you, Tiff. You know where it's at. You know where the fun's at, girl. You know where the real ones are at. Dang lizard link right there that I threw in there. Why would I not support BF Live? I love this show, and I love you for loving this show. You know where it's about. There we go. We got it. Okay, Terry, I want to scan through these. Electric Gino. Electric Gino. Watch who you want to watch, Tiff. Don't let people guilt you. This is fun. And that's what I've noticed, Scott. You know, there's many people that enjoy my show that watch, maybe they watch things that I do watch and they watch things that I don't watch. And I don't really care. I'm just glad that I'm one of the places that you do stop and watch every now and then. That's all.
I've read ahead on the chats a little on you, and I think she might be referring to me and Bybee. And just so you guys know, this is podcasting and real life is real life. Me and him has been friends ever since we was in kindergarten. So even though I might have called him a traitor, that's just for like, this is a show, man. I just we'll be fine in our real lives, you know.
Well, that's good to know, Scott Fitzpatrick, because seeing what's been going on in this community recently with some of the podcasts, the bros or whatever, knowing that you have been friends with David Bybee since kindergarten, it did bother me a little bit to see that there was a little bit of an issue between you. But then it's also very good knowing that, also what I know now, I'm on the other side of it, is that you guys have messed with each other on one way or the other throughout your entire lives, and this ain't nothing to you. You're letting this roll off your back, right?
Right, yeah, because I mean I don't know how to explain it. Podcast stuff is podcast stuff and real life is real life, and I can separate the two, and I think he can too. So yeah, on these podcasts you'll hear me talk shit about him and call him a traitor, but in real life we're fine, man.
And that's fun. I thought it was like poking with a stick because like when you say he's like dead weight or stuff like that, or every time you come to the chat you go loser.
Yeah, I'm just fucking around. That's what I mean. Tiff takes everything I say too literal. That's why she thinks I'm an asshole.
All right. Well, that's good to clear that up. All right. Well, we're gonna start rifling through in a quicker way. I just want to acknowledge anybody that we didn't at least say hello to yet, because in about a couple minutes, I know they're going to pop in backstage any minute, and we'll wrap up this segment, and then we'll have our guest join us for the Vibe Not So Serious News, and then we'll blend in some of the celebrity stories that we've been doing for like the last couple days. We're talking about their love of Howard Stern and Bob Levy and all that stuff. We're going to talk about all of it together, sports and all the alike, right up here in a couple minutes. All right. Let's see.
We have to get to the wrestling real quick because I don't know how much time I have today.
At least you ain't making it all about you, Andrew. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. There you go. The vibe has been said, folks. That was the opening Chat Family Check.
Amongst yourselves.
That is what you do. You talk amongst yourselves. You talk with us on the screen, and we're going to have a lot of fun here today. 3 hours of positive vibes. In my opinion, all y'all across the board, you're all acting like middle-aged schoolgirls. Well, Space Nerd, that's why a lot of times I don't even acknowledge it because that's how it feels. And I got, I'm doing a show here, 3 hours of live programming here today. I got no time for people that don't put shows together and bring their drama here. So I just don't really acknowledge any of it. Let's see. Electric Gino says, we really need an Andrew derailment counter. I'm hoping for you can't derail me too much today, Andrew. Now you got to take it easy on me today, buddy. How long until Andrew talks about not getting subscribers and being shadow banned by the Illuminati or something? Yeah, to our guest and all. All right, well, I do see that our guests are here backstage now, so let's kick up the fun a little bit. We'll bring them in and introduce them, and we'll get to know them a little bit, and then we're going to do some news and comment with them. So I first became familiar with Florence and James most recently because they did that interview with Bob Levy, and Bob Levy's my mentor and kind of our comedy hero, right, Scott?
Right, same here, yep.
And so anything with Bob, I'll tune in and watch and all. And then getting to know them kind of through that interview, I see they like sports and they like Howard Stern and entertainment and all they like. I'm like, well, like I said, no brainer. Let's make some new friends and have them on. So I'm going to introduce you now from the Forum Celebrity Podcast. It is Florence. It is James Patrick joining the vibe. How you doing?
How you guys doing? Thanks for having us on. We appreciate
Welcome,
it.
Florence and James. How are you guys doing today on this Wednesday?
Fantastic.
Great.
Awesome, man. Well, great to see you here. So I don't know how much of the vibe you've seen, but you kind of get the idea of the vibe. I saw you in the chat a little earlier, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
great show. Great show.
Oh, fine. Thank you, man. It's a fun, active kind of situation that we have over here. Yeah. So, I just wanted to talk to you because as soon as you interviewed Bob, I'm like, and you started talking about all the clues you like Howard Stern and all the alike. I'm like, all right, well, I got to get to talking to some people that like some Howard Stern. So, me and this is my friend Scott Fitzpatrick, my co-host and co-panelist right here. We call him the prop master.
Good to meet you.
He has a great tendency to, I've been doing shows with him for 4 years or more now, and he has this great ability for whatever reason on certain shows that we'll talk about something. He just has the ability to like pull it out. He has it physically at hand, so he kind of earned the name the prop master that way. So that's what we call him here. That's his nickname.
That's awesome. Very
and
valuable.
the guy sitting next to you right here, this guy is, let me give him a one shot because this guy is Andrew the Giant. Now, I don't know if you know Andrew the Giant here, but Andrew the Giant, we call him the human sports ticker. We got familiar with Andrew the Giant because he was connected with Shuli Agar from the Howard Stern Show.
Yes,
right?
Sure. Yes.
So when he left the Howard Stern Show, he started doing his own thing. And Andrew was his like sports guy, if you will. Andrew loves sports. We refer to him as the human sports ticker. He any kind of sport he can like speak off the dome on. So we would start doing shows together. Hang on, Andrew. I see you cranking up, buddy. So we would do shows and we would sidetrack whatever show we were on talking about sports so much that he and I ended up doing a show called The Sports Heads for a few years.
Oh, it's
so we have familiar doing shows with all these. So I'm just going to introduce you to like everybody in our group, so we all kind of
very talented people.
Baseline here. Now I got one more guy that just checked in backstage, so the screen might get a little busy, but I'm glad he's joined up. This guy is a most prolific podcaster and a friend of mine, so I want to bring him in. He's here every day with us too. He's from Canada. He's Bobby Nick. I'm going to bring Bobby Nick in.
Hey,
Bobby.
Nice to meet you guys.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Not too bad.
We doing, buddy? You can't upstage a guest showing up late like you're the. What are you doing? How you doing, today, my friend? What's up?
I'm not bad.
Very good. Yeah, so we were just talking about Bobby Nick is much the same here, James and Florence, and that we all grew up with the love of Howard Stern, kind of with those kind of thoughts and radio in mind. So other than Howard Stern, like what is your your familiarity, or what is your love or beginnings of radio? James, I guess I'll start with you first.
I actually was in the medical field for a long time. I graduated from respiratory therapy school. I became an administrative director real young age and just climbed up the corporate ladder, had a cardiopulmonary business for years. I did public and corporate speaking. I did it. I was athletic director for a high school, coach sports. I just kind of was bored in life, so I wanted to do everything I could. And eventually what happened is that I started getting, I guess they liked my personality. So the hospital would have a show that they would actually have me on TV and on radio. And I guess it was okay. And then I started, I wasn't going to write ever again. And I wrote an article on the death of Ken Stabler, and it went viral. And ESPN called me, Alabama, University of Alabama. I was on all these radio shows, ABC, CBS. So I said, maybe I should get back into it. So I did, and I got offered a few jobs, but I never took them. And then Florence and I started doing our own thing, and it has just exploded, and we're just really lucky and blessed. It's
wow, that's fantastic.
Very rewarding.
That's fantastic to kind of know that you were in a whole other field altogether, and you do have you definitely have a voice for like making these presentation videos. You have a decent voice for that, so I can see where if you were working, they would go, "Hey, we're going to choose this guy to like do our promotional videos or things like that." So I can definitely see that and hear that out of you. So did you have like always have a love for like kind of radio or did you have that in you when you were doing this other job?
Yeah, we were. I definitely did. I listened. The Bay Area had we're number one in sports talk radio and in news radio. So I became heavy into politics at a teenager. I worked in politics. I worked in sports. My company actually worked for the Raiders for a short time. They asked us to do the oxygen for the Raiders, so we did that. So I could not stop. I didn't really watch a lot of TV. I listened to radio shows, talk shows. I was addicted to it. I became a regular on KMBR in San Francisco. They called Gary Radnich and Tony Bruno, who are legends. They called me the smartest emailer because I wouldn't call all the time. I didn't want to bug them, but I would email all the time. So I got to meet these guys. They were so kind to me. So it's like I said, so many people in television and radio have liked us, and it's just we're very grateful.
Awesome. Well, and Florence, the same for you. Like, what is your like introduction to radio? Where do you your love of entertainment or all of this stuff begin for you?
Well, like James, I was in a whole different field. I was actually in education. I was a teacher. I worked with autistic children, children with special needs. Okay. But I always had this dream of being in broadcasting, and it's something that never left me. And I don't know, after many, many years and, loving what I was doing, but being really burnt out from the education field, I just decided, I woke up one morning and I literally said, I want to get a job at a radio station because I was just so enthralled with radio. And people would say to me, like, why don't you try to do television? I'm like, no, I really want to do radio. So long story short, I reached out to somebody at Cumulus Media. And literally they invited me to come to a local radio station, and they said, why don't you come in and we'll talk to you, not thinking anything would happen. And it turned out I got hired by Cumulus Media. Now I was still in education at the time. I did this on the weekends because obviously I didn't want to quit my job yet until I knew. And long story short, I worked for Weeby 108 and WICC 600, both here in Connecticut. And I did it part-time on the weekends. I was doing the live radio events. We were doing ticket giveaways. We would go to like all these shows and concerts, and it was just so much fun. And it sort of sparked my interest again. And I thought, you know what, I have to do this. This has to be my thing in life, because as much as I loved education, like I said, I was burnt out and I needed a change. It was time. And like I said, I don't know why they hired me because I didn't have the background. I mean, I had taken courses in communications and journalism and all that, but I had a degree in teaching. But he goes, when you walked into the studio and we sat you down behind the microphone, he was like, there was just something in your eyes. He goes, and you just seemed so at home and you were so excited.
That's neat.
And speaking of Howard Stern, that was sort of another thing. Was I fell in love with the Howard Stern show when they moved to Sirius XM, and Artie Lang was sort of like, I mean, I still love Artie to this day. He reached out to me. He reached out to me on Twitter, and we sort of became like Twitter friends, and he would retweet me. I would retweet him. And my dream at the time was to interview him. And we came so close to doing that because of our radio background. The forum, our podcast, was sort of birthed from that. And we started interviewing celebrities and being invited to all these really cool things, to cover. So it's just so crazy because, again, he was in the medical field. I was in the education field. And we just changed careers. And that's how we met, because we changed careers at the same time. We got into radio at the same time. And we just decided that, you know what, this is kismet. Like, this is perfect.
That's great. Well, we love Artie too. I agree with you. I heard your comment where you said that you believe that those were some of the best days of Sirius Satellite Radio, and I agree 100% because I was a listener prior to Artie as well, so I have comparables. And yes, the Jackie and all the fun stuff in the beginning was fate, but it hit another gear. It hit another level when they went to Sirius, obviously because it was more open. They could say anything they wanted to. They didn't have the problems with the FCC he had on terrestrial radio and all. So I agree with that. And it's sad about Artie. I really, he underestimated his own ability. I think it's so weird. And but I think the reason he doesn't come around is because he fears those triggers. I think much like Bob said, a lot of everything like entertainment is a trigger. Maybe smoke is a trigger. Maybe a smell of a beer is a trigger. I feel bad for people that are in that situation, but I wish Artie well with all that. Love to talk to Artie and just hope he's doing really well.
Oh. I would love to too. And we love Jackie. Jackie was on our show before Bob was. We had Jackie on years ago. And that's when I kind of started listening because I have older brothers and, they were aware of Howard. So it was on in our house. It's just that at that time, he was just kind of doing a lot of things that I wasn't really into. But something clicked when he went to Sirius and Artie, and I said it on our podcast talking to Bob, it became the best reality TV show. I mean, I just, like I said, like everybody else, fell in love with Artie, fell in love with Sal and Richard and that whole crew. To me, it was like the best reality show in the world. And you rooted for Artie. You felt bad for Artie. You got mad at Artie because you knew what was going on behind the scenes. And I just loved his relationship with Howard. It's sad to me that that's not happening anymore. I don't know their situation, obviously, but it just seemed like Howard just kind of let all those people go.
Yeah, Howard seems to be have relationships of convenience. When he's on air and they're in his face, he has good relationships with them. But I think when they're not in his immediate eyesight or whatever in his everyday life, he seems like he kind of loses maybe touch with them a little bit.
Yeah,
but they were really good friends for a while on the air, and then we really remarked when they went through. They had the whole bro argument, if you remember.
Yes,
the whole bro.
That was so iconic, bro.
Yeah, and it was so uncomfortable too because that's the first time you ever really seen them have any kind of flack between them.
Yes,
it was kind of uncomfortable.
And when Artie went after his assistant Teddy,
oh my God,
cliffhanger! That was the cliffhanger of the century. And of course, it was right before their vacation. So some people wondered if it was set up, but you knew it wasn't. You knew Artie would have.
He was raging. He was in a bad way.
I was real anger for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And that's when I said to myself, "Boy, I knew they weren't going to get rid of him because Howard was never going to let him go at that time."
Yeah.
But you knew Artie needed help. And that's what broke my heart because I didn't want him not to be on the show. I watched because of him.
Yeah.
But
and he was falling asleep on air a lot too.
He was falling asleep.
Oh
my God. I mean, so many crazy. Like I said, it was like a reality TV show. Everybody was so drawn in to him.
Yeah, I just watched an episode the other day of when Artie was falling asleep and Howard told him to go over to the bed that they had, whatever it was. Yeah. And he eventually, he started snoring and then he eventually fell out of it.
Right.
Oh man. It's funny stuff, but looking back as to why, it's like,
so sad.
My friend Oscar Electric checks in. He's so deep in the game. He has a lot of this digitized for us. And he says, do you want the Teddy tape? He literally is such a big fan. He has all of this stuff archived and he offers it to me all the time. My generous friend. So we have a lot of Stern fans in here. And what I love about our community right here is that we have fans made up from maybe Bubba Army. Maybe they're Opie and Anthony guys. They're Howard Stern guys. There's maybe some West Coast guys. And they people that kind of all like the same stuff. So that's why I wanted to ask that and kind of know what everybody's kind of introduction to maybe this community is and all. So you guys got a hold of Bob Levy now. Tell us about how you kind of did that. And because I know we've worked with Bob Levy and so we got to know, but what is your impression of reaching out to Bob Levy and getting him on your show?
Bob was interesting because we like positivity. We're not really hack artists, or we're not out to bash anybody. You celebrity, why
we're relating on that. Wow.
Yeah, what drugs do you do? I mean, we just thought we had Artie, but there was someone in the way, and we had him set up, and someone just literally cut it off from us. So we were really upset at that because we love Artie so much. But we got Jackie. He was very gracious. He was a great guest. He did some promos for us. We love him for it. But we always wanted to, I thought Bob's career had some holes in it where you really didn't know what was going on. He does crazy stuff and everybody does crazy stuff, but I wanted to do an interview where we actually asked him the truth about his life. What did you do here? There's so many rumors on Reddit about him and wrestling and about all the things that he did. And so we just wanted to do it. And he was gracious. He was kind to us. He said, sure, I'll come on. And I think that's the problem with a lot of podcasters. They don't have confidence. What's the worst a celebrity can tell you? No. I mean, ask them. Someone said, how'd you get Emmitt Smith? How did you get people from the NFL Hall of Fame? How did you get all these people? And we said, we always say the same thing. We asked them. And if you have a good following, you market people. I think we have good karma because we like to share the love. Yeah. And we retweet people. We're not selfish. Yeah. And I think that comes back to us. And Bob knew us. We've been retweeting each other for a long time, and we just thought it was time. So we reached out to him, and he was really cool, and we loved the interview.
Well, that's cool, and that's why you see why this works. And Bob was instrumental into me being on screen right now because, like I said, we would just jump in on the chats on the Shyt show and all, and he was so gracious enough. Like you said, most comedians, if you get a line off on them, they won't acknowledge it. They don't say, well, who are you to come off with that line on me? You're no comedian. You don't get to do that with me. But Bob treats us all as equals, and if you deliver a line at him and a zinger, he will accept it and he'll acknowledge it and he'll deliver one back better to you. He doesn't talk down to any of us. He's open and kind of encourages us, and he's encouraged me to do this by letting me know that some of the things I do and say are funny, and that's been instrumental for me, the confidence for me to do this, to have somebody like Bob Levy goes, hey, what you said right there was funny, or that's funny. And I know not many comedians are that giving in that regard.
Yeah, that's what makes him so great. I mean, you see people on social media, we see it all the time. I forget who said it. He said 90% of people on social media are trying to prove to everyone how great they are or how famous they are.
Exactly.
And you can tell Bob doesn't care.
Bob does not, and I'm with Bob. I could give a rep. I'm going to do stuff. If you like it and you like Florence and you like us, listen to us. If you need help, DM us, we'll help you. We're all in. If it were up to me, we'd all be multimillionaires. I don't want us to have $1 billion and no one to have anything else. I want everyone to succeed, and so does Florence. So that's what we're about. Laugh at us or whatever, but that's our vibe.
Yeah, and that's why it fits so well, because Bob is very much of that mentality too. You know, you probably noticed on Twitter X that we aggressively retweet my stuff and back and forth, and you know that he says, you know, the rising tide rate, you know, lifts all ships or whatever, you know, words to that effect. You know, you help each other out, and it helps us all out. But as far as Howard Stern, I will say my experience with Howard Stern, that I believe that, you know, we'll talk about that because the whole serious deal, we're going to get into that a little deeper. But the thing I will say about Howard Stern is that I believe, you know, he obviously changed the landscape of radio, and he gave us like the license and the freedom kind of to speak more openly now. I at least get that model from him because, you know, he talked about many things that were taboo at an early point, like sexual things between a husband and a wife, or personal pleasure like masturbation and stuff. He would talk about things on air that were quite taboo, and I'm like, wow, people like talk about this, and I think it gave me license, or gave us the freedom to kind of talk about everything, basically.
That is something I'm very open about on podcast.
You're a little too open sometime, Andrew. Let our guest speak on that.
So what got you started in the WWE world?
Yeah, now Andrew's big in wrestling. What is your interest in wrestling and all? Because Andrew, he's a big wrestling guy. So yeah, what is your experience with that?
In my business, we were in a very wealthy area in California and in the North Bay area, and I knew wrestlers, so I knew these guys. Florence's aunt, I believe it is, works for WWE.
Yeah.
So I knew some wrestlers. I did some work for some wrestlers in media, and I also physically I'm not going to say who they are, but I physically treated them with respiratory issues and with cardiac issues. So I knew some. We started, you know, doing, can you ask this person? Couldn't you ask this person? And then I knew someone that knew Mick Foley. And I said, can we do Mick Foley? And he goes, wow, you're crazy. I go, please ask him. Mick called us, and he literally lost his phone. So we did the interview on his daughter's phone. He did not want to cancel it. He did not want to cancel. He goes, we're not canceling this.
So funny.
And he talked to us for a half hour on air and a half hour off. He was the greatest. Then we got Brian Clark, and then we got other people. We're working on other stars that we're getting, because I'm a huge wrestling fan. Not so much anymore, but I was a huge heel. I loved Rick Rude. I loved
Ravishing Rick Rude.
Oh yeah, I love the bad guys. I didn't say my prayers and eat my vitamins. I like
you were a Flair. Were you a Four Horsemen guy, Ric Flair?
Oh,
and
yeah,
all that?
I loved the Four Horsemen. I loved all those guys. But my favorite of all time wrestler was Bruiser Brody. And what's funny is one of my patients who was really struggling was an old Japanese gentleman, and he actually saw Bruiser Brody in Japan, and he got hit one time by one of Bruiser Brody's chains, which was a badge of honor.
Wow. Yes.
What's so cool is this guy was so depressed. He didn't speak English, and I saw a wrestling video. We started talking about wrestling. I showed him and his daughter how to do it, show things on YouTube. I did an article on this. 2 years later, I met this guy, and he had died, and the daughter said, I see you're really upset, but don't be upset. When you came over and he saw all those videos of wrestling, he got with all his friends. He went on YouTube all the time. It was the two best years of his life, and he just so appreciated that. So I'm telling you, I'm a huge wrestling fan. So that's kind of our and Brian Clark, who was he was Havoc in WCW. He played Chronic. He was Chronic with Brian Adams, and he's
super
just
nice.
His podcast is blowing up, and he's the greatest guy. So, with Mick Foley and all these other people, I know some family members of Paul Orndorff, and they're just, these people are the salt of the earth. So I would do anything for them. That's how they got it.
I have to say something about Mick. He is the classiest guy ever.
Yeah.
One of my caretakers was out at an event of his, and she was like, sorry you couldn't be here, and he asked the woman that she was there, hey, what size does he wear? And she got me a shirt from him.
Oh,
that's awesome, Andrew. Awesome
that's pretty
story.
Cool, Andrew.
So
yeah,
if I were to ever meet him, I would thank him personally for that.
Oh, that'd be
That's
cool.
a great story, Andrew. Now, you guys I heard you your interest in Bob, because we heard much the same, that Bob Levy is into wrestling. Now, we were big wrestling fans as well. I love all your references too, man, because I'm from those early AWA, NWA, before WWE was a big thing as it was, James. So I know a lot of those guys that you're mentioning. But you mentioned Bob Levy, and we're like, wait a minute, Bob wrestled, and he was the Heartbreaker Bobby Slayer. I heard you guys talk to him and all. And so that when I watched that interview that day, we had already been interested in this, and I found this clip. I don't know if you guys have seen this already, if you saw it that day, if you've ever seen it at all, but this is some rare video of a very young Bob Levy wrestling right here. We're going to watch it right here on the Vibe. Check this out. This is from a young Comedy Central show. This is a young Louis C.K. hosting this show. And Bob's going to come out and wrestle on it right here. Early Comedy Central.
Oh, my gosh.
Louis C.K. show.
Tyler, give him a hand. Bob Tyler, everybody.
Look at this guy.
Hello, Bob. How are you?
I'm doing great.
And what's your...
Look at this young guy right here. Look at this. Wow. All right. Louis C.K. and young Bob Tyler. He's going to wrestle right here. Let's see.
What's your talent?
I wrestle Jews.
You wrestle Jews?
Yes, I do wrestle Jews.
You're a Jew wrestler?
Yes, I am.
Just Jews?
That's all I've been doing.
All you've been doing is wrestling Jews. All right, what do you need from us? Anything?
I just need a little space here and just a Jew.
You need a Jew?
Space and a Jew. That's all you need.
Jews that want to wrestle who's Jewish here? Anybody? You, sir? Come on up. Give him a hand. A volunteer we have. Come on up. Hi, what's your name?
Seth.
Seth, And you're Jewish?
Yeah, I'm a Jew.
Is that okay? All right, okay, so you're going to wrestle with Bob. Is that all right with you? Okay, Bob Tyler, give him a hand as he's going to wrestle this Jew.
Ah, here we go.
Okay, he's got him in a lock. Oh, and he's got Seth by the arm. Seth's got the upper hand. Oh, but he kicked him right in the balls. That's right in the head. Oh, and Seth got out of the way. Seth got out of the way.
This has to be early 90s.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. This is terrible. Oh, wait.
I like this. They got a good one off here.
That's not right. Come on, man. Use your
Tray shot.
No, man, I'm not Jewish. Come on. No, I'm not.
I'm not Jewish. There you go. Tray shot. Nice tray shot.
I think he's going to get the pin. 1, 2, 3, and a Jew.
Oh, Bob loses. Oh, my God.
All right, thank you, sir. Seth, everyone.
Oh,
well, Bob, that was. Are you all right?
That was no Jew.
Oh, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. But thanks for coming. How about another hand for Bob Tyler?
Bob Tyler, he says that was no Jew. There you go, Florence and James.
You have to show that to Bob. Send that to him.
That's a dive. That's a great one.
That's a great, ain't that? Yeah, because I got curious one day because he brought it up so many times. I was Googling, and finally I picked up on that. So we at least have that little bit of wrestling video right there.
Oh my!
Our friend the Chunkster, he's a big Bob Levy fan. He says this was 386,000 cigarettes ago for Bob Levy. If you know, he is a prolific smoker. But not as prolific as my co-host right up here, Bobby Nick. He is we call him Bobby Nick because it involves nicotine. That's all right, but I digress from that one.
I smoke a lot. Yeah.
You like to smoke?
I used to teach stop smoking, Nick. I'll do it to you for free. So
hey,
this would be your greatest challenge if you ever got Bobby Nick to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Little lock.
He'll break you.
So I guess we can continue on this path here. Let's talk about some current events that I saw you guys talking about. Since we're talking about Howard and Bob and the alike, is that you had us all abuzz. You knew, that whole soundbite. The whole yes, Andrew. Hang on. Scott loves it when I go. Andrew interrupts my wind up. Yes. You knew I had a question, right? You knew I was doing the show, right?
Sorry.
Too late.
I am very familiar with the Wisconsin sports scene because I am very connected with the Milwaukee Brewers.
Oh.
I met all the broadcasters. They all know me pretty much. I met all of them. Got me thinking today. I was sitting here. I would like to get reconnected with Ryan Braun because he knew me pretty well because I met him twice at a Brewers on deck event. I was like, how can I get him back on again even though he's retired?
All right, Andrew. Well, we'll see if you can make your connection with Brian Braun another time. But we're going to continue talking about what we were talking about. So I'm going to ramp up and start talking about the whole Howard Stern situation right here. So, like I said, we had the whole you knew situation. He had us all abuzz about if he was going. I'm putting you backstage, Andrew. All your background.
Oh my God!
if and when he was going to come back on the air and all that stuff, right? And so it was supposed to be Labor Day, and I heard you say, Florence, you're obviously know because he works like 2 or 3 days a week now with this new contract, and he couldn't manage to bring himself back a week, on Labor Day week. I'm just picturing Howard at home going, I don't want to go back there. I don't want to face this. Just one more week. So let's start. Let's start unpacking this a little bit. The whole Howard Stern, his contract was coming up. He signed that large $500,000 deal all those years ago. And, the landscape has changed as far as podcasters and Howard. I don't think he is not the golden child that he was when he first arrived at Sirius XM now. So you can see the need for negotiation. He's in his 70s, much like Don Imus was when he was saying. So what is your take on all this from the beginning? Like how did you take this?
Well, I took it as a lot of people are saying, he changed so much over the years. He changed his politics. He changed everything. And I think in that he did lose a huge following. The numbers he had when they signed him originally are nothing like.
I can't believe the reports I read in doing research I can't believe the difference.
Yeah.
They're saying with millions to hundreds of thousands.
Yes, literally. And you can see why Sirius XM would be thinking, maybe it's time to make a huge change. I know that the Call Her Daddy, I think it's called, podcast, is sort of like the new baby for Sirius XM. They love the woman, the host, and Howard apparently doesn't like her.
I heard their stories too. I saw that too, where they said they try to keep them separate and never let them interact in the halls in Sirius. And if you're a Howard Stern fan, you probably know that is a true thing, because he didn't even want to pass Ronnie or people that worked on his show when he went through the halls of Sirius. So he certainly doesn't want to pass a competitor or somebody.
And Opie and Anthony, remember he did that to Opie and Anthony?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who was it? I think it was Anthony Nipp who filmed Howard, or where they had to be when Howard entered the building, or when Howard walked by.
Yep.
They weren't allowed to pass Howard.
Absolutely not.
Weird.
I'm going to take a second to acknowledge Oscar Electric. He is our deep, he's got all this stuff, cataloged and all. He says, I love these two. And he was asking earlier who they are. So anyone that's enjoying the show or joining us later, this is James Patrick and Florence Carmela. They are from the Forum Celebrity Podcast, and they love everything that we love. You hear it already. They love Howard Stern. They love Bob Levy. They love sports. They love wrestling. And I thought, what two better people to have on here on BF Live The Vibe? And I love that you say without being provoked about positivity, because, for whatever reason, the world is what the world is nowadays. And I almost feel like a salmon swimming upstream. It's like I see so much negativity out there. My show is almost a response to the negativity of the world. I'm not going in that negative route. So it's great to have people with similar thinking right here on with us today. But
hi, Oscar. Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go. Hi, Florence and Jimmy. There you go. Watch what you like, who you like, who does things. There you go. Right. Watch what you like, who you like, whatever you want to like. That's right. It's a free world right here on the Vibe. So back to the whole Howard Stern thing. So I pulled even a couple reports, like now the stuff that's coming out after. So now, like you said, they don't want them to like kind of meeting in the hall, but I just don't believe he's definitely not the golden child that he was when he first came there. Remember they did the whole deal, and it was like what was it? It was X. It was X, right? And then the Sirius, then became XM, and then it was Sirius, and then it became Sirius XM.
They merged.
And if you remember when they merged, Howard had a clause in his contract that if he met certain subscriber heights, he would get certain amount of dollars. And he tried to use the merger, the acquisition of those subscribers as his next benchmark. You remember all that kind of fight and all that, right? Yeah, all of that stuff and all. So there you go. Look at this.
Yeah, very interesting.
Juggalette Jen, she's a loyal friend right here we're chat family over here. She says, you got a new follower from me and a new subscriber from me, says Juggalette Jen.
Well, thank you so much. Make sure that we follow you back. We're also not stuck up. We're not one of these that
we always follow.
We have a million followers and 2 people we're following, and one of them is a fake person. So we don't do that. We like to support everyone. And going back to Howard too, he is just, I think what I loved about Howard Stern is he was real. And now to me, he's no longer real. It's as simple as that. I don't watch him anymore. I don't really listen. When someone has that big of a transformation, it's something's not right. They did it for the wrong reasons. And it never changed. I'll always remember the olden days and what he did. I think he likes it at Sirius. I see him even making a deal with them, but making them not disclose the money because he doesn't want to be embarrassed. But one of his shows got 120,000 views. Now, some of us podcasters would love that, but for him, that's ridiculous.
He's Howard
That's-
Stern.
Exactly. He's Howard Stern, and he's only getting that. So.
We discussed this yesterday, how he railed against podcasters, silly podcasters. Howard Stern is a podcaster, whether he wants to accept it or not. He's doing the same thing. He's in a basement studio.
In his basement.
Right. He's doing a 3-4 block screen just like we are right now. Howard Stern, he subtly became a podcaster, the thing he thought he would never become. He said he would never.
That's his mantra now, though. That everything he hated, he loves now. Everything he loves, he hates. When someone's that fake, to me, it's a betrayal of your listeners.
And and plus you guys know, being fans, that he always criticized Don Imus. Hey, buddy, for staying at the party too long. And we talk all the time now that Howard is doing the exact same thing. He stayed at the party too long. He's stayed beyond his relevance. But this also reminds me of, because Howard Stern came to this level of fame late in his career, if you will. And this reminds me of Regis Philbin, a similar kind of guy who toiled around in media for many years, decades, before he ultimately hit that major syndicated show and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and he loved it, and he worked up to the end. And I think Howard's much in the same lane. And like he said, at this point, I can't retire if I want to, because it'll look like I got pushed out.
Yeah. I think his ego is so big, and he's a petty person. He's got loyalty, and if he's on your side, oh my God, you probably don't have a better friend. But again,
Jimmy Kimmel, that's his best friend.
But look at how many years did he destroy Jimmy Kimmel, and now
all of them.
Jennifer Aniston, they go on vacation together.
It's like what in God's green earth going on? So it's
that's why they call him Hollywood Howie now, right? So
he's Hollywood Howie.
Hollywood Howie.
All right, so.
But this is why podcasters like yourselves and other ones are growing, is because there's honesty. You guys, everyone has their niche. Be funny or be, self-deprecating, whatever you're doing, sports, quirky. And I think that's why people like it, because podcasting for the most part is real. Influencers aren't. That's a whole new ball game. But podcasters like yourself, Bob Levy, it's real, and they're just sharing who they are. And you can't, and that's, to me, is what why I love podcasters.
And this is a lesson I learned kind of by way of watching Howard. I picked up many like professional tips, like just kind of, he does this, he hits the post, he does these things. I absorbed all that because I love all that stuff. But the biggest thing I learned from Howard is that authenticity is everything. Without it, you flop. And that's what I've learned, is that people would come on air or come on the radio and we would all see through him. And that's what I learned being a fan, is that you can come on and say anything you want. If you are not a sincere person and you're faking it, it will show through your presentation. So I think authenticity shines through on a lot of these shows. And if you're authentic, and that's what's most heartening about this, is that people like this for what I do, and I'm very grateful for that. You can't come on here. I can't come on here and act like somebody that I'm not and think that it's going to go over. It's just not. It's not going to happen. So that is the biggest thing. You got to be authentic, no matter if it's good or bad or indifferent or whatever. But I'm going to run Howard's quick statement real quick, because he went back on the air, and I think Florence shared this with many other people shared this. Let's look at this quick 1-minute statement that he made, finally addressing all of the talk that was going on all over the summer, and we'll just keep building on this speaking line.
Everything you've been reading in the paper about me or about Robin is completely false.
Podcast.
What pisses me off is now I can't leave. I've been thinking about retiring. Now I can't, because then they'll say I got pushed out. So I'll be back.
That's right. Yeah.
Here's the truth. SiriusXM and my team have been talking about how we go forward in the future. They've approached me. They've sat down with me like they normally do, and they're fantastic. We've been talking. And by the way, I'm absolutely flattered that anybody even cares whether I resign. So, in a way, it was confirmation that I matter, that it was such big news. The only annoying part was having to, answer my friend's text. But one of the positive things about all this fake news is that I heard from a lot of companies who want the show. They're like, well, if you're not at Sirius anymore, do you want to come with us? And I thought, well, that's really nice. But I'm very happy at Sirius.
That is the bargaining chip. But I tend to believe that's probably true, Bob.
A bunch of texts.
There's always another outlet that's willing to take you on. So that was the statement. Now, our friend Oscar Electric, when I told you he's our deep cut guy, he has the the whole library catalog of this. He He said all along, this is all a work. This is bullshit. He kind of likened it to wrestling and all. He's like, the whole you knew because he knows that Howard Stern's been doing at this for decades, literally, and they know how to do like the long play on all of this kind of stuff and kind of dangle it out there. But what do you see? They did the whole fake radio thing with Andy Cohen kind of thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Pretending Andy took over for Howard, and it was such a lie. Yeah.
It was funny. I was watching Bubba the Love Sponge the day that happened, and people were calling up to his show saying, Howard's gone. And some people were actually fooled.
Believing it.
They fooled the Associated Press with that Andy Cohen thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk to
reporting.
Yes, AP and UP were like the gospel. If they had it down in print and going out on the wires, everybody could run with it, and they got fooled. They totally got fooled. I want to thank Terry Nee. He's a chat family friend, and he says, BF seemed like a broadcaster the first time I met him. Well, thank you, Terry Nee. I appreciate you saying that. Juggalo Jen believes that Howard is radio. Yes, he certainly set this format of like kind of honesty and being open and being unafraid about talking about real life issues.
Yes.
Wesleyan Brother says that is bullshit. Howard is too rich to care about what people think. His ego is getting in front of what is truly best for his life. That's opinion of our friend West 11 Bravo. All right, let's keep going. So that was Howard Stern's statement about that. Now, in your experience with Sirius XM, this is when I got familiar with Bubba the Love Sponge from Florida. Did you pick up on Bubba any when Howard signed him from Florida and got him on 101? Bubba the Love Sponge?
I know him. I know a little bit about him. I basically, like you said, if you're a fan of Howard's, you kind of know who he is, know his show and all that. So I do know a little bit about him, and I know his name pops up in different news stories for different reasons over the years.
Well, he's the one that most infamously, Ronnie Munn, Howard's limo driver, got to know him, and he went to his wedding and shouted out some not so pleasant things about let's fornicate with some whores and all that stuff. I don't want to shout out everything Ronnie says in the presence of ladies here, but there you go. Let me play this clip right here. So this is Bubba, Bubba tried. He was on probably the channels for 2 years, Bobby Nick.
Something like that around
and
there.
then he would go, come on, Howard, ask everybody is serious. Come on, sign me up for the next one, Howard. Come on, extend me, Howard. Come on, Howard. Every minute was Howard. He never got extended there. But let's watch that. And so Bubba he's a passionate Howard Stern guy. So let's hear his opinions about Howard Stern.
As zookeeper and wacky as I think it is, it worked.
I mean, they probably
major news organizations fooled for it, right?
I mean, they probably sat down and said, man, there are a lot of stupid people out there. How do we capitalize on it? And boom, they did.
Yeah.
And that's what Oscar Electric said. My friend Oscar Electric thinks that they did.
The AP, though.
Yeah. Rather than to sit down and listen, because I heard, Lummy, that it was only about 15 or 20 minutes that Cohen did this.
10 minutes. Well, they didn't want to lose all their listeners because he's about as unfunny as dog poop. I mean, the guy has got absolutely no sense of humor.
So the AP, upon 10 minutes, completely has Howard out the door and Andy 100. And again, it goes right back to what we reported in the documentary. You don't got to be factual. You just got to be first. And then you look stupid. There comes a point where you
and then they kind of proved that, you don't have to be factual. You just got to be first nowadays. People, if they hear something online that they want to hear, they just kind of run with it.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah,
so I don't know what Howard's deal is going to be. It sounds like he doesn't know what's going to be, but it sounds like in good faith they're negotiating. He's back. He'll honor his contract until December 31st. And hopefully from now until then, they'll come up with something. That's kind of how I'm reading it.
There you go. So I don't really believe anything has changed. Actually, I believe this was probably already the case, James, that they probably had the contracts like, okay, well, now that this is all being talked about, I guess we got to talk or come up with something. But, Howard always pre-negotiated on there. So I'm pretty sure they had 6 months to go on this. So,
I think Howard's doing the smart thing. He's doing what I would do. I think there's already things done. I don't think this is... I think he needed some news, and I think they needed some good press. And
now it was all planned for sure.
Everyone's talking about it, and that's what he wanted.
Howard's smart.
Especially, it makes even more sense in light of if those numbers are even close to being true, going from millions to hundreds of thousands, then you're going to do anything in your kind of toolbox to generate some heat for your show. So that definitely makes sense in that regard.
Well, now, and I bet you any money it brought at least a few thousand fans.
Sure it did.
Oh, for sure.
Back to Sirius
sure
XM,
I'm sure his numbers were good. I do have a question for you guys. Do you think at some point I know he looks down on podcasters. He wasn't impressed with Joe Rogan. He said a million times, "Oh, anybody can do what I do now." Like he kind of looked down on like anybody with a basement and a microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think at some point he's gonna have to either go into podcasting if he wants to continue, or do you think someone's gonna offer him something so amazing that he's gonna eat his words and do a podcast?
I can see him like hooking up with a media company, and that will make him feel like he's not doing a podcast, but somebody that throws it out there and all. I believe there's, like he said, there's other media entities that would kind of pick him up and run with him. So I don't think he'll ever be without a job. But as far as like what level or status it is, I believe that it will have, if he wants to continue, it would probably take some kind of form of podcasting. I'd be curious what he could do as far as super chats or generate on his own compared to, especially now if what he's making isn't what it used to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Imagine if Howard Stern popped up on YouTube and he was getting super chats. That would be amazing.
Imagine if like Jimmy Kimmel and all his friends were super chatting.
There's a million Howard.
Yeah.
Our friend Pecan checks in. He's a big supporter of mine and podcasting. He says Howard won't do podcasting. Terry Nee says, our friend says, he'll retire. He's old. That's what we thought now, Terry Nee. What's he, 71 now? And somebody that you know has a sense for people staying in the party too long, he doesn't seem to have that sense about himself. Now, I believe by being a fan many years ago, Bobby Nick, during a previous contract negotiation, they did something similar. They had a guy come on and act like he was David Lee Roth taking over the show before David Lee Roth ultimately did attempt to take over the Howard Stern show on terrestrial radio. They did a goof. And so I think a lot of people that were familiar with that, when they saw the Andy Cohen thing, they kind of knew. At least some people knew it was a goof, maybe fans. But this is from your page, Florence. This is you sharing Andy Cohen being questioned, I believe, by TMZ about what he knew about Howard Stern using him for this.
We gotta ask you, whose idea was it for you to take over Howard's show today?
It was Howard Stern's idea.
No way.
It was Howard's idea.
When did you guys come up with this?
He came up with it. I don't know when he comes up with anything, but he came up with it, and I was happy to do it. It was so fun.
So what were the reviews like? I know people were calling it and going crazy.
I think people were either really mad or they thought it was funny. But I mean, a lot of major, the AP reported it, Variety reported it.
Yes.
So it seemed believable to people.
It was
which
very
made me happy.
It was believable even to me.
Yes.
So let's put it out there. I mean, was that the plan the whole time to kind of get some new?
I have no idea. I can't speak for what any plans were. All I know is that when I was asked, I was happy to do it.
And we are happy to have you. Last. Karen is out of jail.
Yes.
Have you spoken to Karen?
No.
We have texted.
Okay.
And I will be speaking with her.
That's a housewives thing.
How is she?
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if they were talking about the Philly game. The game.
I will let you know after I.
We could talk about that too, but thank you for that reference because I'm not totally familiar with the Housewives.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay, we appreciate you.
Like,
thank you.
The head guru of all the housewives.
Yeah, Andy,
I was familiar with, yes.
Yeah, we actually did some interviews and became friends with some of the people on Below Deck Med, and they told me Andy will do anything. And he is very into being sly and funny, and so I could see Howard asking him and him saying, "Sure,
he'll do anything." Yeah, sure.
He's one of those guys.
He seems very loyal to Howard in that regard, certainly.
Yeah.
But so that was a TMZ hit. So I see that you guys do like hits or pieces for TMZ every now and then, drop-ins. I don't know what your terminology is, but you kind of
TMZ reached out to us and they liked us, and we thought, okay. Usually the people are 18-year-old college girls or whatever that they like, but we did it. They asked us 4 times.
They kept asking us to come back.
They asked us again, but then they said they put stipulations on it.
Yeah.
We said, thanks for it. But
we passed the last time.
So
we've we turned down TMZ.
Well, there you go. Good for you.
Yeah, they had changed it too much. When we had gone on the first 4 or 5 times, it was very easy. It was very free. We could put our logo. We could talk about, what we were doing. But now the rules have changed. So they said, if you come on, you have to follow these rules. And we were like, you know what? We've done so many of them, and they were so good to us. And we felt,
we have nothing bad to say.
Yeah, we felt, and we still feel
Harvey
so
was
grateful.
cool.
Harvey was so nice to us.
Very cool people.
But yeah, it was fun to do television, and we're open to doing it again. Like I said, we had to turn them down last month because it was going to be too hard.
Well, do you speculate? I'm just hearing you kind of saying what you're saying and reading between the lines and talking about maybe they talked about some things that they would rather you say or not say. Maybe I'm guessing did that have anything to do with
branding.
it?
I think it was more.
It was branding.
Oh, okay, more logos and stuff.
I felt we were getting, because we were putting posts and we were getting literally 100,000 six-figure views, and I think they felt we were using it a little bit too much to promote ourselves.
Yeah,
which we were.
That's kind of the culture here online.
What is wrong with that?
Yeah,
and it is on Fox. It's on television. So there's a whole new set of rules, and finally they said something to us.
When the Fox got it, because they said you have to promote us, and we were. In fact, when we did it, many times we promoted other people's responses, other people's shows. We're always very giving, but they didn't care. They just said, you got to do this, this, and this. And I'm just really not one that really likes people telling me what to do.
It gets old after a while. Yeah, it gets restrictive. Sure.
I'm not 12, and
right. It's tougher when you get older. Yes, it's tougher as you get like, hey, yeah.
We were very respectful, and they told us, if you ever want to come on, just let us know.
Yeah, they're wonderful to us, so we don't have any.
That's cool. Well, you understand there's certain rules, and then you can decide to do it or not do it.
Business is business.
That's awesome. Well, I will say about TMZ, they remind me, to me, in my mind, they remind me of the Star magazine, the digital Star magazine of the day. Typically, I would say my perception is like 9 out of 10. They're pretty right on a lot of their as far as rumors and stuff like that. They're pretty on it. They're insiders and all that stuff.
Yeah. They break the news.
Yeah,
People Magazine has been struggling, and now they literally have gone full blown TMZ.
Yeah,
the stories they're doing are just gossip, and so they used to be kind of a well respected,
more sophisticated,
and good stories, and now it's just like, Cindy looked at this person while she was at the party. What do you think?
They threw a drink. They threw a drink in her face.
But then they made out. What do you think?
Then they made out. What's your comment? Yeah, what do you make of that?
That's what people want to hear, though. They want to hear
Housewives of Beverly Hills, whatever.
Yeah.
True.
All right, well, I'm going to mop up this Howard Stern topic real quick, only because I found a couple articles and then kind of seeing what's still being said about this. And this is most peculiar. And Bob, and I want to point this out to my friend Bobby, Nick, and Scott, and all of my Howard Stern deep fans as well, because this is an interesting thing. It says Howard Stern is leaning on a former Air Force member to find the staff mole who leaked these contract details. Florence, can you believe this? So,
here we go. Yeah,
this is a bit now. All right, my Bobby, Nick, and Scott. Now wait until you hear who this former Air Force member is, because it's somebody we're all familiar with, Howard Stern fans. It says, Howard Stern is determined to shut down any leaks about his private affairs and is going to great lengths to achieve this. Amid speculations about the media personality's contract with SiriusXM not being renewed, he is tracking down the insider exposing the details from his team. In December 2020, Stern signed a 5-year extension with the media company, securing his show through the end of 2025. While no renewal has been announced, Stern has cleared the air and he is not leaving the radio anytime soon. So here it says Howard Stern hands over the investigation to discover the company's mole to an Army-trained personnel. Now, here comes who it is. I love this. And let's see. It says, in a bid to discover the mole in his radio empire, which he has been running for over 2 decades, Stern has deployed the skills of his producer, everybody, Mehmet Walker. Mehmet.
Wow.
Yes.
What?
A former U.S. Air Force airman trained in interrogation tactics. For those that don't know, Mehmet is a quirky writer / segment producer on the Howard Stern Show. And boy, they have had some fun encounters with him. His lack of personal awareness is amazing. If this guy's down with interrogation tactics, oh my goodness. Executive producer Gary Delabate raised concerns that a staff member was spilling exclusive information, including talk from team building gathering at a spin ping pong bar in Manhattan. Walker, who joined the show in 2015 after serving in the Air Force from 2006 to 2010, has now begun leading inquisitions. At the same time, he has denied accusation from colleagues suggesting that he might be the leaker. So what is that? Mamet. Like, I saw this headline, Florence and James. I'm like, oh, like Howard got serious. He's really getting it. And I'm seeing he turned it over to Mamet, a knuckleheaded, what we know as a knuckleheaded producer on his show.
100%.
Of all people.
Isn't that something? So I found that article. Let's see. I thought that was funny. And then I think that's all I had to like kind of wrap that up. I just thought that was like Mamet Walker, Scott. That he was
Mamet.
Mamet.
Oh my God.
All right. What did he wanted to do all kind of weird like promotions and stuff, and he would pitch Howard these promotions and spilling fluids on people, like stuff you couldn't do. He was like out there. I can't believe that he is the one investigating anything. All right. Now I want to continue talking about some other things in our popular culture. I did a couple stories already this week. Let's see, we did Howard Stern. We talked about Bubba, and we showed your clips and all that. We talked about Bob Levy. But in doing my research for this, I noticed that you done some great interviews. You interviewed Rick Podolsky about a book that he wrote about John Madden and Pat Summerall, the famous NFL broadcast team for years. How did you put that together? And talk about that a little bit.
The one thing that we've done that no one else does, and everybody told me I was going to be stupid and blow it, but we have never once done a collaboration or done anything by reaching out to anyone. My feeling is if we're good enough, people will come to us. And that's what's happened. We have NFL people that came to us and said, and for us, we're younger. Rich Podolsky was an icon. He knew Roone Arledge. He knew all the heads of the NFL. He became a multi-millionaire on Wall Street, but he was great friends with John Madden. And he was the one that helped Madden get some of his gigs. And he wrote an article about Pat Summerall's life, which is very colorful. These guys partied like rock stars. And also John Madden, when he first started, how the network didn't want him. And it was really interesting to see how he evolved, because I'm an old school Raider fan, and I've met John Madden a couple times, and the stories of him, I'll tell one quick story. There was a story where the Raiders didn't want, it was in Santa Rosa in Napa where I grew up. They didn't want to practice. It was too hot. So they hired a lady to go naked on a horse and to go across the practice field. And Madden just starts screaming. And then at the end, he looked and he started laughing and he goes, you know what? Do what you need to do and then get out of here so we could practice. So he fly around. There was another one, and the famous, a lot of these old stories, Russ Francis, who passed away in a plane accident. He was a famous tight end from the Patriots, and the Patriots just killed the Raiders in a regular season game. So he went to gloat, and Ted Hendricks was in the toilet. And he looked, and Ted Hendricks got up, and he was drinking beer because the Raiders were the only team that allowed beer in the clubhouse. And he threw $100 bill in the toilet. And Russ Francis goes, what are you doing, Ted? And he goes, you know what? And he got up and he said, I dropped a $5 bill in there, and I sure in the hell ain't going in there for $5. So that was the mentality of the Raiders. It was just, we became good friends with the Villapianos and with the Stablers, and they're just the kindest people. But boy, the stories, we should do a show on the stories. They're not G-rated, but they are just so fun. They actually, as a joke at a party, they had this wedding and they married these two couples, but it wasn't legal. They had one of the football players do it, and to this day, that couple thought they were married.
They thought they were legally married because football players did it before they were ordaining just anyone. Wow.
Yeah, he pretended to be a priest.
Oh my God. Oh my God. These people are living a legal lie for all of their lives because of these football players.
Raiders players partied like my father. I wasn't thought, but my father partied with, because a lot of the fans would go meet with them, and he got to drink with Ken Stabler and these guys. And boy, they were something else. There'll never be a crazy team like that. Those guys were fun.
You're right. Now, I'm over here on the East Coast of the United States. I'm from Maryland, Baltimore more specifically, and we had the Colts when I was a younger child, and they had Artie Donovan, and you saw him go on Letterman and just kind of trying to just get close to those stories that he would try to tell, and Dave would always try to get these great NFL stories because bro, just sitting around with them, you're just going to triple or stumble over a really cool or fun story, some that could probably not suitable for air too as well, right?
Yeah. Back then it was fun because you could have personalities. A lot of the players also, they didn't make much money, so they had jobs. And
that's right. Yep.
A lot of the people, I remember Ted Hendry or Dave Casper, I believe, sold insurance.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people, but these guys were so much fun growing up with because they were so nice. They were, I think it was Marv Hubbard who had a Chevelle, a hot rod, and he souped it up, and he would drive up and down the streets with the kids cheering him on, racing. So it was just a real fun time, real innocent, fun time.
Around here, like you said, they had many jobs. I grew up in the shadow. It was before my era, more my father's era, but we had Gino's restaurants around here that Gino Marchetti opened up around here because that was his business. So we had Gino restaurants around here as well. So, and then Artie Donovan had a certain place. He had a country club. Johnny Unitas had the Golden Arm Inn. So yeah, there was a few places around here in that regard. So yeah, and Ken Stabler, that's a rough tumbled cowboy for those days back in the NFL, boy, when they would get, fist in the face and step on them on the way up, getting back up into the huddle and stuff, those gritty days.
Oh, a quick story on him. I wrote an article, and that one followed up my viral article, and it went bacterial. It didn't go viral, went bacterial.
Fungus.
He actually was, he had a bad year for the Raiders. He met a California writer, and the guy just cold met him in his bar. And he really felt offended by it because he was doing a hit piece, and he said, "I'm pretty much doing this if you do it or not." Well, Kenny had so many loyal people. Someone planted cocaine in the writer's rental car.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
The guy got arrested. The guy got put out, and he was even warned, "If you don't leave this area, you may not leave this area."
You may not leave. Yeah.
So
now you can't leave. Yeah.
He got all the East Coast sports writers. If you remember Dr. Zimmerman, Paul Zimmerman, who was the first guru in the NFL draft, he hated Ken Stabler because of it, because they thought Ken Stabler had planted it. And that they were bullying the writers. So they all vowed never to vote for Ken Stabler to be in the Hall of Fame.
Whoa.
And when they started dying off, then the votes started coming in, and that's why it took so long for Ken Stabler to get into the Hall of Fame because of that. And he patched it up with the writer, but Ken was so wanted. He was when he was traded to Houston, the FBI tracked him for a year because many of his friends were from the Black Panthers and the Hells Angels. So he had really
both sides. He had all sides covered.
And a mafia guy that was involved with some stuff in the, gambling business. So Ken was the type, if you were nice to him, he was nice to you. He didn't judge you. I got to meet him once. He's just the greatest guy. But I'm telling you, his story alone, I can't believe there's not a movie about it. But yeah, I'll never forget that article I wrote, and I'll share a couple of them with you so you guys could read them because they are really fun, and it's shocking what happened in the 70s with a lot of this stuff. But yeah, that's why he didn't go in the Hall of Fame for years.
That's terrible how it's kind of political like that. Guys should go in on their numbers whether you like them or not, but we know that bias is a thing. Terry Nee says
Ben Davidson.
Ben Davidson, big Ben Davidson. So let's get into this because I want to expand on Madden a little bit because you guys, you did that book, and we all grew up, at least my generation, absolutely grew up with Madden and Pat Summerall being the guys in the booth. If there was a Super Bowl, if there was any large event, the U.S. Open, Pat Summerall did. He did many other sports, obviously, golf and things of this nature, but you knew it was a big A1 event when you had Madden and Summerall. It was the number one crew. And so I grew up loving John Madden because he was that guy. We talk about how sincerity plays through on the screen. Well, when you're a young man and you see some guy being honest and you're like talking in a whole different way that everyone else is talking, I related to that right away. He would the boom, boom, look at this guy over here. He's doing this and boom, pow, boom, all that kind of crazy ways that he talked. He was just, what is your impressions of John Madden made the conversion? He was famously the coach of the Raiders. And then after a while, he just, I think he burned out or whatever from what I understand of history. I knew he famously didn't want to fly. So he kind of took buses everywhere. I think that was a limiting factor with him coaching too. And he eventually became a broadcaster, right?
Yeah, what ended up happening is they wanted him to do broadcasting. He did some games. He was horrible. And the network wanted to get rid of him. Tom Brookshire and Pat Summerall were famous. They were probably the first really famous hip group.
Yeah.
But they were party animals. They drank constantly. And so they had to split them up because they were just too wild. And Summerall said, I'd like to do with Madden. And after a while, Madden was the first one. I believe Ethel Kennedy asked Madden to have dinner, and instead of having dinner with Ethel, pizza is sent for the production crew and him to watch over films. So he was the first guy that embraced the production crew, the cameraman, the grips, whatever they're using, and he them sit in on the football meetings. So that's why they did such a good job. And Summerall was so supportive of him, and they changed the way football was. And obviously Madden is today the most popular video game of all time. So and the most successful. Yeah,
we could definitely talk about that because I grew up loving Madden, the video game. Obviously, I played it on the PC before they even had like Xboxes and PlayStations. Yeah. And I was chasing video cards to try to keep up with the latest technology. My graphics weren't fast enough, so I would have to buy always the next card. And I did that probably up until just as recently as 3 years ago. I was getting every copy of Madden every year in August when it came out. That's how I loved John Madden football. And let's run. So then he kind of transcended. He kind of had that personality about him. And I think people in Hollywood and people in Madison Avenue at the time kind of saw that and said, hey, we can do something with this guy. And the reason I'm going to show his light beer from Miller commercial.
Oh, those commercials, gold.
And these were something really, James, because I remember this being a younger man. I wasn't a drinker yet, but I knew that light beer was it was the diet thing. And that just wasn't a thing when this first started out. Like light beer and diet beer, no real men were going to touch anything that said light on it, right?
Yeah.
So they had to find some way to make it kind of to carry over with the everyday man. And so they did commercials like this with an everyday man like John Madden.
We're here at the 18th hole of this light beer open, and we've seen some real unusual shots today.
You said it.
Bubba Smith, Dick Butkus, that Fran Tarkenton.
How supposed to hit it through this tree?
Burt Jones.
No problem, bud.
Yeah. Oh,
that's my Colt.
How's Yuka going to get on this one?
Oh shit. Bob Uecker. I must be in the front row.
Take it 2, 3, 4.
There's Ben
It's a
Davidson.
good thing lights less filling.
Billy Martin.
God, the last player's approaching the tee.
Mickey Spillane.
Go to 100 yourself.
Rodney.
Hold me on, girls. Hold my calls, will you?
Get out.
It hit the weather vane. It's in the drain. Here it comes out. It's going on the green.
There he goes.
It's in the hole.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
This open ought to be closed.
Wow, 1985 that's from.
And also, Nick had a great comment. Ben Davidson was the bad guy in Conan, in the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And,
okay.
And Schwarzenegger said, I've never been more intimidated by a man than Ben Davidson was monstrous.
Whoa,
and
for Arnold Schwarzenegger to say that about any man is given much praise.
And when you put them together, they had to watch the camera angles because Davidson was so much bigger than he was. And what was cool about Davidson is him and Art Toms, who was a great player in his own right in the 60s and 70s, they would bring their motorcycles on the field for the last game of every Raider season. And when the game was over, they would get on their motorcycles and leave the stadium. That's every year at the last game of the season. So they were just, Ben Davidson was such a, at the Comic-Cons, his pictures are one of the most popular ones when
Really?
Arnold and all them do it, because Radner, I forget the name of the guy, but he was just a monstrous. And remember, he's the one that he took the head off a few quarterbacks, Len Dawson, Joe Namath, a lot of these people. He destroyed them, and they were just so much fun. But yeah, Ben Davison was a special guy, really, really great in the movies and in the commercials.
And so, I think John Madden just came, he, like a lot of people and a lot of in entertainment, it's right place, right time kind of thing. He was there when he kind of got put together, when he finally became a broadcaster with Pat Summerall. And I believe based on that thing, he kind of became more famous. And obviously he got involved with the light beer commercials and all. Yep. And then this is where he really made a big difference in broadcasting for me and maybe a lot of us, James, in that he started using this telestrator. People weren't writing on the screen explaining the game, and especially in this loose fashion. I got a quick 1-minute video that'll show you how John Madden was the first and how he made TV more fun utilizing the telestrator.
So 1982 is Super Bowl 16, the Cincinnati Bengals versus the San Francisco 49ers. John Madden, as a broadcaster, this is his first Super Bowl to ever cover. Also in this game was the first time an invention was released called a telestrator.
Here was a big play in the drive. It was 3rd and 3. Freddie Solomon starts out here, comes in motion.
Now, when in this day, when the technology was as limited as it was, when you're watching this and you see somebody drawing a live squiggle on the screen, you're going to pay a little extra attention, right, James?
Oh, yeah.
And so we did. We're like, what is he talking about here?
Charlie Young here runs a post pattern.
And you talk about getting an education on patterns and the actual game and understanding the game on a deeper level. That's what I got out of this, James.
Yeah, I told Rich, I said, John spoke to the fan and he didn't speak down to them. He talked football with them. He knew that they knew the game, but they didn't know the ins and outs of it. So the telestrator really changed everything and got him to communicate better with the fans like no one ever did.
He just explained it a little better, like you said, to the everyday
John
man.
Madden's career, the telestrator became his lightsaber. This was his signature.
See how heat does come out of the top of your head?
Right, and then things that he's noticing, his powers of observation, because he's a football guy, and he's like, hey, I know this from being a coach. This guy's sweating. The D linemen are down here. They're doing this. These guys are doing that. And you had the game, the whole entirety explained to you in a way that was never done before by anybody else.
Head there. This is a fodder bucket. This is a fodder bucket. And since the last game, they had a baby bucket. And he got a little here and a little up there. Here, but he doesn't have anything here at all.
He is discovering the convergence of his talents at once. And this was the synergy of what would become John Madden for the rest of his broadcasting career.
There you go. So I thought that was a nice 1-minute brief video to kind of explain Madden.
Video. He did the funniest one I ever saw him do was he telestrated on Thanksgiving in Detroit how to eat Thanksgiving dinner. And he used the telestrator, and the ratings just skyrocketed.
Yes.
Turducken.
Yes.
How to eat a turducken. You don't cut it. You have to rip it. I mean, it was just so much fun. He was so much fun.
Yes. One of my favorite things was, everybody would get like an award on the Thanksgiving game, like MVP or whatever. And they come up with, hey, let's give them a turkey leg. The MVP will have them come on camera. We'll hand each of the 2 guys, the quarterback or the defender, whoever, a turkey leg. We'll talk about Thanksgiving and all. And like Scott says, the turducken, that was one of the first place I ever heard of a bird being stuffed inside of other birds, was watching John Madden talk about tailgating and food.
It was so much fun. It made it hipster for young people. We were young, so we really loved him. He was cool. Right. And it also got to the older people, even though they tolerated the kind of silliness, they loved his intellect and how he described the game. And then Pat Summerall was such a good straight man. He just kind of went with the flow and made little jokes, and he was great. I remember after the Thanksgiving thing, it took like 2 minutes, and then Summerall goes, could you do that again? I didn't get it.
Well, I got my love. I blame John Madden because I was so enthralled with the deep fried turkey. That's the first place I saw deep fried turkey too. I've motivated myself and educated myself based on seeing him every year. I'm like, I have to learn how to do that. That motivated me, so I know how to do that. But here was the fun use of the telestrator with John Madden, and then we'll move on to like talking about Charlie Sheen and some other stuff and whatever time we have left here. But this is him. This is a quick video, 30-second video of him, once again, in a way you didn't see back in those days, having fun, telling you about the goings-on around the game.
Goodyear blimps log over 100,000 miles every year, covering major sporting events. They've had a beautiful day today. Enjoying it up there, guys?
Now they're inside now, but inside isn't in the middle or on top. That's underneath, I think, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I mean, if you look at that thing, yeah, I never figured. I couldn't see. They're down in here, in this group here, I think.
They are. I hope they are.
I don't know why they didn't get up.
And there you go. John Madden letting you know about the Goodyear blimp, another staple of many NFL games for many years. The Goodyear blimp. You see all these drone shots going on now, but I wonder what that holds for the future of the Goodyear blimp. But so then we talked about the John Madden video game, and and talked about the education, and that's where I really got to learn. But other video games had basic sweeps, you kind of throw it out and all that stuff. But they really said, well, what's smart about the EA Sports getting with John Madden, they said, hey man, we want actual plays. We want to kind of take this up another level, and so that's what they did. And he basically made him just become a whole nother, introduce himself to a whole multiple other generations just doing it. I mean, what a franchise that is the Madden game series.
Oh, remember Tecmo Bowl was my favorite, and it pretty much just had basic plays, and then you're doing Madden, you're doing 2 tight end, 3 wide receiver sets, you're doing, I mean, it was amazing how good it was. And now you have NFL players that when the Madden ratings are out, they're fighting with each other over their ratings.
Yes, so, and they get upset with EA Sports and contact the company and say, hey, man, I don't think that's a fair rating out of you. That's how seriously these guys take the information that's fed into this. Yeah, it's a point of pride to go, I'm 99. I'm rated 99, the highest level you can be playing like a Madden game as far as skill level.
There's the Madden curse, too.
Scott.
The Madden curse,
But Saquon's on it this year, right? Saquon.
Yep.
So we'll have to see if he makes it through the season. But that was pretty consistent there for a while, a little too eerily consistent there. I think Christian McCaffrey got caught up in that, I think, in the Madden curse. Let's watch a little bit of this. And this is from 1988. This is literally like the first version of the Madden game. And this is kind of where the seed was set right here, planted. Look at these graphics.
In 1988, the first John Madden football was released on the Apple II. And it's easy to look at this and say, well, okay, it was a football game on the Apple II. What's the big deal?
What made this game special was before this, football games didn't really look like football at all. They usually had much less than 11 players on each side of the field. There weren't real plays to select from. It was all X's and O's.
They didn't just take the name John Madden and put his crazy face on a box and say, good, we're done. They actually took his advice.
They really took the first steps towards making sports games something other than glorified manager modes, which is what a lot of sports games were.
They took plays that he had written up. They took actual NFL plays from actual NFL teams and put them in the game. It is a massive undertaking to get this all done.
This would become hugely popular once it was ported over to the Genesis and then the Super Nintendo, and by the early to mid 90s they took off and basically helped create the sports brand of EA.
John Madden to this day sees this as a teaching tool for people to learn the ins and outs and the intricacies of football to this day.
There you go. So that's kind of what sums that up. So that's kind of what we said.
Madden was great because he actually got upset at EA when some of the earlier games, because he didn't feel they were authentic enough, the plays. So he would make them go back, and the engineers would have to recode the plays because he was a stickler. Another thing John Madden did is he called out reporters. If a reporter said something, and I don't want to name the name, but there's a few that he would rip on afterwards and say, why did you say that? That wasn't true. You missed the play. You didn't see what was going on. And he would chew them out in front of the whole production crew, and no one had ever done that. And he didn't care if you were female, male, black, white, whatever. He wanted perfection. And that's what people, he may be, slip shot in the thing in the football game, but he really was a perfectionist. He took it very seriously.
Yeah, and I had another point in the I kind of let that point go, but I want to talk about how this kind of leads to now. So now they did the Madden kind of tribute for him a while back, but now it's turning into they're going to make this motion picture now about his whole relationship with Al Davis and the Raiders and all. With what's it, Nicolas Cage and Christian Bale playing there. You're familiar with that? They're making that movie?
Yeah, we've been asked to be a part of it. We may be doing a press junket for it. So,
nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah. And Christian Bale, if you go online and look at what Cage has transformed himself.
Amazing. When I heard of this casting, I'm like, what is Hollywood doing? And then I saw these pictures and I'm like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, and what people forget is when John Madden was younger, he was about 6'2", 270, and he was their fastest guy in the team as a lineman. He went to school with John Robinson, and he was great friends with John Robinson, the former famous coach of USC. And Madden was a great athlete. Madden, I believe, just tore up his knee, so he could. And back then, with the surgeries, you know, like Gale Sayers or Billy Sims, you were toast. But he was he was very fast. So he wasn't, a 300-pound, 280-pound way to get older. He got a little bit heavy, but he was, he was a football player. So I think the way that they're doing him is perfect. Yeah. Christian Bale has a bad reputation for being a perfectionist, not being the nicest guy on set. Yeah. And I think that, but I think they're going to do a really good job because they say they want to make it authentic. They have reached out to the Madden family for the Raiders, all that. So I think a lot of anticipation for ESPN and the networks about this movie. And it's not, I don't think they've done a release date yet, but once we hear about it and they tell us, we'll definitely share it.
Well, that's interesting because, like I said, on surface, I'm like, okay, Madden and Al Davis, that's intriguing because I do remember being younger, what I understood as a young man of their relationship, and I knew enough to know that Al Davis was the maverick, and he kind of stirred it up in the league as far as the way they ran the league, and he would go against the league many times and sued the NFL on multiple occasions.
Yes, Al Davis was actually the commissioner of the AFL, and they made a deal behind his back, Lamar Hunt and some of the other AFL owners, and merged with the NFL. Oh, Al Davis wanted to take over the NFL.
I believe that, knowing his personality.
Yeah. And the AFL was getting great reviews, and their style of football was so much fun. They had
starting to catch on more. Yeah,
yeah, they were really great, and but they backstabbed him, and Al Davis never forgot that. And he blamed all of them, all the owners and everybody. And he was really, he was cutthroat. And he just said, I don't care what it takes. We're going to win. And death be whoever gets in our way. And he's a very harsh man. He didn't take any crap. I met Mr. Davis once when we were doing the oxygen, and he didn't even say hi or anything. He just said, do a good job.
Yeah, very straightforward.
Yes, yeah. Mr. Davis, I'll do a good job.
But yeah, I always remember him. He was just constantly just picking at the league about how they ran the league, and he, like I said, he famously moved the team all over California, Oakland, Los Angeles, and back and forth, all of that. He just basically did what he wanted and dared the league to kind of challenge him on any of it. Is what it seemed like.
Yeah, it was a 10-year lawsuit, and he won. He won the lawsuit over, and it literally opened the door for other teams to move because everyone else said, there's no way you're going to win, Al Davis. And he said, this is my team. I'm going to go wherever I want to go. And he did. And it changed it opened the door for all other teams in other sports to move. So
it really did. He set a precedent, and I was personally affected by that, being a Baltimore Colts fan, because famously they left in the middle of the night in 1984 on a snowy night to go snuck off to Indianapolis without a word to the city officials or anything. They were just gone, and that was in the fumes of what Al Davis did. They're like, oh, you can just pick up and leave? Well, I think I'll do that too. And like you said, and now we have the dynamics that exist today because of the precedent he set. I want to shift to, if you don't have any more comments, I want to shift to Charlie Sheen a little bit. He has that memoir coming out. You've been hearing about that, right?
Florence and I just talked about it.
We were just talking about that because TMZ was reporting on it. So we saw some video and we saw, what they were saying. And I know he had a lot of revelations that came out. I think some people kind of thought they weren't really surprised some of the things that he said in his book. But that made the news yesterday, big time.
My friend Scott up here right below me, he was a little bit surprised about some of these. I wasn't too surprised.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because of the revelations about him being with men when he was under the influence of drugs and all. I guess,
I wasn't shocked, but the fact that he went public with it was surprising.
Remember in Lucas, the movie Lucas, they were saying that he had with Corey Haim, there was some situations there that
Yes.
So,
Crisco.
So my boys Scott and Bobby Nick here, they're very familiar with the Corey Haim and the stuff, and they were talking about this story yesterday. Scott, what is the story that you heard, the rumor that you heard about Charlie Sheen?
So, I'll let Bobby Nick tell us, but for me it was by Charlie Sheen coming out and saying that, it made the Corey story seem more possibly that it could have been true. More, you know what I mean?
Yes,
real.
Yes.
Yeah,
Bobby, what's your take on this?
Remember exactly how he got lubed up with vegetable oil or something?
Yeah.
I don't think we have to do a play-by-play of how he went about it, but just the fact that maybe he did go there.
I think Corey Feldman had all the details.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And I wanted to believe it wasn't true, and then that kind of just
me too.
Well,
you don't want. Back then, there was so much going on. South Park did an episode, and we're not going to name because I don't want to get sued. The two famous directors that they felt were involved with some of the young guys, and it was very, very weird. And I feel so bad because Corey Haim was a talent, and
sad what happened.
But he just, oh boy, what a horrible life.
And it does seem like for so many stories, it's like where there's smoke, there got to be fire situation. Even if every one thing isn't true.
And that's what surprised me about Charlie Sheen actually coming out with this, is that people have been saying things for years. Apparently Denise Richards left him because she walked in on him viewing inappropriate things having to do with boys and guys. And that's what I've heard. That's, we don't know for sure. But supposedly that's what made her divorce him while she was pregnant with his child, because she just felt she needed to get out of that. And of course, we don't know for sure, it's just what was said. But now with him admitting this, it does make you feel like maybe some of these things were true.
It tracks.
Yeah, I mean, I believe we were all witnessing someone having a drug-fueled nervous breakdown, and he did a 20 or a 30 city tour in the midst of it. And I remember at the time, Howard Stern was still kind of relevant and taking these things in, and Charlie would just call in out the blue, and I'll talk to Charlie, and winner chicken dinner and winner
tiger blood.
Tiger blood.
Yeah, winner chicken dinner. I don't think so. Winner Sheen dinner.
All that stuff.
Winning.
Oh my God.
Yeah, winning.
Right. I mean, we were all witnessing. We were all going to Abilene. We're like, this guy's having a nervous breakdown, right? Yeah, he's having nervous. Yeah, he's definitely having a nervous breakdown. But we all just had to sit back and watch because he was definitely out of control in those days.
Oh yes, and that's I guess he. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. He was hiding his diagnosis, I believe, of HIV at the time, and I think that's what caused the breakdown. Was they said that he said that somebody was blackmailing him to not bring the story forward, and from what he said, it is the truth because he did admit that, but he was being blackmailed. And I guess all of this was going on behind the scenes when he was doing this tour. And I'm feeling it was like a breakdown he was having because everything was going to come to the surface.
Yeah, and probably at the time there was drug fueled, so that was the only thing stopping him from really fully accepting and dealing with what was going on at the time. If you keep doing drugs, you don't have to worry about anything. But yeah, he said in his kind of a drug state, and he kind of admits that here, that he just wants to get the shame. And he said, "What? No piano fell on my head. It feels great and liberating to finally not be holding that in no more." So I imagine that has to be great, because they almost made it sound like there were multiple times where he had encounters and multiple people saw his HIV medication and threatened to kind of out him about it. So I can definitely see people trying to get ahead. So that should be an interesting one. And we discussed obviously his father is famous Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez and all that stuff. And we were kind of recalling all the movies they were from yesterday. We were having that he had done, of course, with Major League and what you said, Pony Boys, Scott. We were talking about all the things we like Charlie Sheen from.
Yeah, very talented family. So talented
family. Yeah, very talented.
And famously from Major League and on. Then the whole thing with 2.5 Men at the time. I mean, that show was at the height. That was at the zenith of its popularity when he was in the Tiger Blood phase. He could have easily negotiated and got another extension and got so much more money, but he kind of went the way he did, and they threw Ashton Kutcher in there. It was just never quite the same again, I don't think. Never quite the same. All right. Well, I'm having fun here on the Vibe. We got about a half hour ago. I'm super happy that James and Florence from the Forum Celebrity Podcast are joining us here today. I told you on a message that if you had an out, I would try to give you out, but you're welcome to stay. And I'm super glad that you've stayed for the whole thing, because I can just keep going on and talking about one topic.
We could go for about 5-10 more minutes. We have something else that we got that we don't want to flake on, but we can stay on for 10-15 more minutes. That's okay.
Or why don't we do this? Because this is a real quick, brief thing we can do, and it helps us all get to know each other better, and the chat can participate in this as well. Let me see if I have a little thing for it. I assume that are you guys fans of music?
Sure. Oh, sure.
All right. Now, do you have like a phone or a personal device or someplace where you keep a list of music?
I have all my music on my
computer
PC.
Even if you have to do it only off the top of your head, I'm trying to see. This is something that we do here that the chat can participate in, and it helps us learn a little more about the inside maybe of people that come on the show. And we do something called Tell Us Your 5 Letters of Music. So what we do is that I'll just ask somebody in the chat to throw out a letter in the alphabet. We will start at that alphabet, and we will name 5, because there's 5 letters in music. We will name 5 music songs or artists that you like, either have in your phone, your computer, or just whatever comes off the top of your head. And in that way, we throw them out in the chat, and everybody gets to know a little something about everybody's musical taste and all. So you ready to play?
Sure.
Let's do that. All right. Well, Mandy did throw out F, so we'll start at F. Now, we're doing 5 letters in music. Now, I'll start with some other people to give you guys a chance to get to the rhythm of the game, since you haven't done this before. But yeah, great. Scott, the guys, they're going for their devices now. If I was smart, I would have had my music file open already, but I was busy doing other things.
You want us to type it?
No, you don't have to type it. You can just say it out, because I'm going to do a little go around, and you can just speak it out if you want to.
Okay.
I was going to go in my music file right now, my actual music file, so I can share actual songs with you now. Like I said, I should have done this earlier. Here we go. My files. Let me go to audio files. Here we go. Now I'm going to go to the letter F, and that's where we're going to start. And we'll show you the example here, and then we'll keep going. So let's go to F. They're all out of order. Let me see. Where's my F? And it can be an artist, or it can be a song name, or whatever. Hey, Bobby Nick, you got one yet for F?
Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters? Oh, you got a particular song, or just you want to do the artist?
Artist. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, there you go. He's got Foo Fighters. Bobby Nick's F and 5 letters of music. Hey, Scott, what do you got for your F and 5 letters of music?
I got Faster Pussycat, Don't Change That Song.
All right, Faster Pussycat. My F, and it could be a song or an artist. My F was Feel So Right by Alabama. My country came out of me. Oh, my goodness. Feel So Right. That's a older song. That's what came up, so that's what I show. All right, how about, we'll do ladies first. Florence, do you have something that starts with F that you like, music, artist, or song?
One of my all-time favorite bands is Foreigner. Ooh, I love Foreigner.
Nice. All right. Yes. I want to know what love is. It has to be one of the most beautiful songs ever recorded.
Yes. I love so many of their songs. I think that the lead singer has a beautiful voice.
Absolutely. They were just recently inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Foreigner is F for our friend and guest right here, Florence Carmela. How about you, James? What do you got for an F? Now you got to come up with another F because she took your F.
I'm sorry.
Since we, well, she always takes my stuff, but what was I going to say? Yeah, I think I'm going to go for, since we have a lot of mafia people and online that like us and a lot of Sopranos. This is for the Soprano group. I'm going to go with Frank Sinatra.
Hell yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with Frank. Oh my goodness. I don't mind some Frank Sinatra in here. And you guys may or may not have known that I was lucky enough to get as a guest on here on The Vibe, Tom Dreesen. He was the comedian, the stand-up comedian that opened his opening act, Frank Sinatra's opening act for many years.
Wow.
Yeah. He was a guest here on The Vibe. So
Very
he would be a
famous.
great guy for you guys to talk to. You talk about a guy like those football players that just have stories off the cuff. He'd be a great gentleman to put you in contact with. You would love interviewing him.
Yeah.
We got Frank Zappa checks in Matt with his F.
How did I
Faith No More. What is
that was
it?
my second one. Yeah.
All right. Faith Evans. Did I get everybody on screen? I got Foo Fighters. I got Faster Pussycat. We got Florence and James. Now we're going to Faith. We got Faith Evans from our friend Two Joints. I was trying to type Foreigner and she said it. Said our friend Scuff with Shane. Two Joints checks in with his F as Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Icon.
The man.
Foreskins. What a wonderful world. Does that start with F? I'm not sure what that one. Familiar with that one. Finally, it was that CeCe Peniston or something. What are we talking about here? Finally. All right, let's get on.
I remember that song.
Fallout Boy is Tiffany Washington. Mandy Diff checks in with Rod Stewart's Forever Young, I assume. There you go. So that's our F's. Foghat. We're going to take a slow ride. We're going to take it easy with Terry. So there you go. That was the last F that came in. So now we're going to keep on with 5 letters of music, and we're going to go to G, E, F, G. We're going to go into G, folks. So let's go to our files and see what kind of music or artist that we have that starts with the letter G.
I know what gonna pick.
You do?
G. Ooh, I got one. I got a couple of G's right here. So I'm going to go around on the panel like I did before. Bobby, you faded in and out a little bit. I'll start with Scott this time. Scott, you got a G, buddy?
Yeah, and this is a real song. You can look it up. Gang Bang in the Old Folks Home.
Oh my God. All right. Well, see, and this is what you see now. You may or may not want to know this, but that's how we know a little bit more about Scott's taste because that's what he has on his phone. Bobby Nick, what do you have for G, artist or song in your phone?
I don't.
All right,
Not there yet. Not there yet.
I'll go on to the chat. I'm going to give our guest a little time. Green Day says Scuff with Shane. Foghat is a good choice on the last one. Terry Nee says Grateful Dead for the G. George Clinton and P-Funk. How about you, Florence? Ladies first. What do you got for a G, artist or a song?
The late George Michael.
I
think he's very talented, beautiful voice.
Very good. George Michael. How about you, my friend James? What's up, buddy? What do you got for G?
Like George Clinton. I love George Clinton. But Guns N' Roses.
All right, Guns N' Roses. Another great one.
Good one.
I'm familiar with this because I have kids. Goofy Goober from SpongeBob movie. I'm a goofy goober. Yeah, you're a goof. Bobby Nick, did you come up with a G, my friend?
How about the Grateful Dead?
Okay, that was in. All right, we got that too. All right. How about Whoop Up Gangnam Style? Says our friend Mandy Diff checking in Gangnam Style in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Give Up the Funk by Parliament. Parliament, G-Funk. Scuff saw them in the 90s. G-Unit, says our friend.
Oh wow, yeah.
George Boy, BF's favorite. Hey. I resemble that remark. Do you really want to hurt me, Terry, with that comment? Gang Green, says our friend West 11 Bravo. Lucky I have a couple Grateful Dead shirts. Boy George, he corrects it. George Boy, you got that. The grandmas and the grandpas, that's not a group. G.G. Allen, says Articulate John.
Oh, wow.
G.G. Allen, yeah.
Mine is, I think it says, I got 2 G's right here. Going to leave you or go with the flow. It's go. Babe, I'm going to leave you, I think is what I got. It says going to leave you. So that's what I got for mine. There you go. So I'll look for any more G's, and then we'll go on to our next letter. Let's see. We're going to H. All right, let's get the H's started, ladies and gentlemen, here. We're doing 5 letters of music. This is just a fun way where we can ask you to name 5 quick letters, and you could just tell us kind of what your favorite artist or song might be with that related letter, and we get to know each other a little bit better. 5 letters of music. All right, let's get down to H, folks. Let's throw our H's.
I have mine.
You got your H already? Well, then I'll let you go first if you're ready to go.
I love Heart. I've always loved.
Oh, yeah. I just saw Heart recently, Florence.
So talented.
Like within the last probably year or so, I just saw them, and Ann Wilson was she was getting around okay then. She has taken more now to being, I've seen her seated a lot more on her tour that they're on.
She's been sick. She's been very ill, but she's still out there doing it. And she has an amazing voice.
That voice is on spot. I mean, she was just ripping it in that arena. Ann Wilson still has a great voice. Heart is the H for Florence in our 5 letters of music. What you got, James, for H?
Jimi Hendrix.
Oh my goodness, yes, you never can go wrong with our friend Jimi Hendrix. Scott Fitzpatrick, what do you got for your letter H?
I'm going to go with Hailstorm.
Hailstorm with Lizzie Hale and all that stuff. Hailstorm. Lizzie Hailstorm. Bobby, Nick, you got an H yet, buddy?
I do not. Scott just took mine.
Oh, damn, I'm good. I had one till right then. Well, we'll check with the chat while Bobby.
Harvey Danger. How about Harvey Danger?
Harvey Danger, flagpole sitter. Henry Rollins. You're just a liar of 2 joints. Let me see. Hank Williams Jr. You're cheating heart right there. How about we got a couple H's in here. Great H's in here. We got Harvest Moon by Neil Young. We have Hank Williams Jr. again. Harvest Moon. We have Hinder. Henry Rollins. I called you a liar. Hank Jr. Higher Ground by UB40. There's a couple of versions of that, but Mandy Diff points out UB40. We have The Hollywood Vampires by our friend Tiffany Washington. Huey Lewis and the News. Your tip to be squared.
Yes.
That's a good H one. Never saw them live, but they're pretty decent. Hoobastank. A good pool right there from the early 2000s, I guess. Saw the Dead and the band in Syracuse in 84. I've got a leftover G. Ghetto Cowboys from the G is Tiffany Washington. Oh, wait a minute. We got the bops going on here. We got Pecan checking in with Hanson.
Yeah, Hanson. I forgot about them.
How about Widow Killer checking in with Whitesnake? Here I go again on my own. That was an MTV staple for many years when that song.
Tawny Katane.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All over the hood. What is love? Hadaway. Baby, don't hurt me, Articulate John. Don't hurt me no more. Hollywood Nights checks in with Terry Nee. Hip to fuck bees. That's not how it goes. No, that is not the lyrics that I'm familiar with. Hate Breed, says Stephanie Washington. Hawk Wind, Mike Hawk. Heroin by the Velvet Underground. We leave off with the H's. Bobby, Nick, did you come up with an H yet?
I already said it. I can't remember what it was now.
Did you?
You said Harvey something or something.
Oh, he said Harvey
Danger. Yeah.
That's my fault, Bobby Nick. All right, let's go on to I now in 5 letters of music. We're up to letter I in our 5 letters of music. I. Let's see. That'll be an interesting one for as far as song titles and artists. See, my stuff got out.
I got me an I.
All right. Go with it, Bobby Nick.
Ice-T.
Ice-T.
Love Ice-T.
Ice-T, the rapper?
I can go next. I got I Hate Everything About You, Ugly Kid Joe.
Yeah, that's a good one. I hate everything about you. All right. How about I'll do my I, and then I'll turn it over to our guest on this one now. Mine, I came up with, I got a couple of them. They're both on a ZZ Top album, Eliminator. I got the 6, or If I Could Only Flag Her Down. That's a good Eliminator. That's an album I haven't listened to in a while.
Great,
hey, Florence, what do you have for I there, Florence?
The only one I can think of is Iron Maiden.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
The only one I could think of was Iron Maiden.
That's a fun one. Iron Maiden. We love some Iron Maiden here. James, what you got for I, my friend?
I got doing the Raider vibe, Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. I got to say, it's a good day because we have James and Florence on here today. Third Eye Blind. I know you got to get out here. Let's do our last letter. Let's do J, and let's get Florence and James out of here. Do you want to go now? Am I making you late? Can you do just the last letter?
No, we can do one more.
Yeah,
one more letter, and then we're going to let you go and say goodbye. I was made for loving Terry Nee. He was made for loving me. Oh, that sound as gay as it was. Let me say, I ain't never, says John Fogerty. All right, let's do our J's now, folks. Let's do our J, and then we're going to say goodbye and have some last words with our friends and our guests, Florence and James, today. Oh, we have Justin Timberlake. We're going to go to the chat first since they're coming up. Justin Timberlake, I Ain't Never by John Fogerty. Judas Priest comes up with Bobby Nick. Journey, James Brown. Scott Fitzpatrick, what do you got, buddy?
I got, pardon me for my language. Jackal, She Loves My Cock.
Oh, Jesus. Once again, I'm telling you that this gives you insight on what people have on their phone and their personal taste, what do you like or not. Jimi Hendrix, says our friend Electric Head Gino, checking in. We got Jack Black getting the check in here. John Riggles checking in. Don't be coming in here with none of your Orange Cassidy shit here, buddy. Jeremy by Pearl Jam. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
He spoke in class today. My J, it happens to be from an old Styx album called Just Get Through This Night. It's from, what's it, Kilroy. I think that's from Kilroy Was Here or whatever. Damn, that's going way back in my stuff. See? So now you learn something about how deep I go with my songs. But wait a minute, Written Off has Jack You Off by Prince. Wait a minute. Judas Priest. Now, did I get everybody's J's? I think we did. Did we not?
Yeah.
I think we did the full go around here. We got Justin Bieber, Jasmine Sinclair. That's a porn star. That's not even, wait a minute. Justin Bieber. Joe Pesci doesn't even sing. Your shine box. Jake Hudson. Wait a minute. He's your favorite artist. I got Jake Hudson.
No.
What's up, guys?
Hey, buddy.
All right, guys. Why don't we start? Let's say goodbye to our friends and guests today. We're going to give them some last words. Thank you very much. Not only for playing
nice meeting you guys.
5 letters of music with us and having so much fun with us today.
That was fun. Thank you.
But for staying so long with us, new friends. I know we're going to be seeing each other. I have a feeling for a while coming down the road, but maybe we'll do some shows and have some fun. Let's hang out again together sometime. Yeah. But please, any last words, plugs, or comments that you would like to say? Thanks for coming in on the vibe today, guys.
You can go, Florence.
Well, just thank you for having us on. And we do have a podcast, the Forum Celebrity Podcast, which is here on YouTube. And we do celebrity interviews. We also do lives, which you can see on Twitter and YouTube. And yeah, please like and subscribe and come join us. And like I said, we follow back. So if you subscribe to us, we'll definitely subscribe to your channel.
Yeah, and if you guys do, we so appreciate you guys. We're glad we met you, and like we always tell our guests, we don't have guests, we have friends, and we will share your work. We want to make sure you guys, this is a great show.
Thank you.
This Forum Celebrity Podcast, like and subscribe on YouTube. And you guys just be positive. It's a rough world out there, and just be cool to each other. Have some fun. Don't take yourself too seriously, and always just give good positive vibes to each other. Especially Twitter can be kind of toxic, but like I said, you need any help with something, or we don't care if you have 100 followers or 100,000, give us a DM, tell us you heard us on the show, and we'll definitely help you out. Because like I said, we want everyone to succeed. We're really into this, and we're really inspired by all the kind people and all the kindness that we get all the time. So it's very humbling, to be real honest with you. We're just two regular people. So we love you guys, and we love thank you for being kind to us, to all the listeners as well. You guys were really great. Great comments too. I loved it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Well, this show is called A Vibe, and I go by vibe. And like you said, if you do good things, you think people will come to you. I came to you because I could feel your positive vibes. Thank you, Florence and James from the Forum Celebrity Podcast. Please come back again another day whenever you can. Florence and James, you're welcome all the time here right on The Vibe. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You guys take care.
Bye.
All right.
Really nice
Florence and James are checking out on The Vibe. Florence, Carmelo, and James Patrick. That was a lot of fun, guys.
Wow.
I could just
excellent.
I told that once again, I explained to them that if you need it out, just let me know, because I know, and Scott, we didn't even take a piss break. We're having too much fun today. I wanted to stay with it. And Andrew, I'm going to bring Andrew back in now, buddy. I'm sorry we were talking about a lot there, and I didn't want, it was hard enough to keep my train of thought going, so I didn't want to put too many sticks in the spokes today. My friend Andrew the Giant. So thank you.
Yeah,
Andrew
it was weird. It was weird, BF. I checked the feed because I knew I was late. I checked the feed to see if they were on, and they weren't. And so I popped in here, and boom, they were on. I was like,
you both jumped in at the same time. Yeah, you both literally jumped in at the same time today. Wow.
Anthony Rizzo just retired.
Yeah, I see. Now that would have been something that Andrew was going to throw in the show if I let him stay on screen. He was going to be like. He's going to be announcing, and Andrew, I didn't have time for that with my flow, my friend. But you're always welcome. Oh, rest in peace, Andrew, says Terry Nee. I want to thank Terry Nee for saying such great thing. Written Off saying amazing show today. TY, no TY to you. BF, you are great with guests. Thank you. You humble me. Not in the way that Iron Sheik does. No, you're not going to humble me like that. They got out before the Juicy Man Meat segment. Perfect outro. Well, I don't know. Maybe we should have some little fun, and maybe if they're around, they can watch that. But I'm not going to subject any new people to that right away. I'm not going to do that. Let's see.
Also,
I think, what was I gonna say?
There's your preview of what was going to happen when I had
God.
Andrew on the screen, and I'm got a flow going. I'm trying to think of my next question, and I'm like 2-3 questions ahead, and then Andrew goes, "Hey, what do you think about a wrestler?" Like, great. Where did my thought go? And look, Electric Head Zero says, "God damn it, Andrew, son of, God damn it."
I got a thing about Madden. It actually.
I'm not sure how to take that, FJM, but I think that was like a real show. I'm on 380 shows, and this guy's telling me that was like a real show. I'll bet you guys jerking it the rest of the time. Thanks, FJM.
Madden really taught me how to
jerk it. I don't know what.
Understand football.
Yes, Andrew, it did. It did.
It made the average fan actually understand the plays and what to look for. I even looked at defense and said, "Oh, this is cover one. Watch out for this dude."
Yes, Scott, and I love it, bro. You tried so hard, and I knew you were going to go, and I wanted you to go because that's the next thing you need when Andrew does that. And Andrew, he's like, and then people in the chat are like, fucking Scott laughing in the back. He did his best to hold his laugh in, and even they're like sitting on the screen with their lips pierced, like, we're going to wait for this sentence to be over. What are we doing here? And Scott's just like, he's busted, and I love it now. Check out. And so I learned all from them. Once again, this is being connected to Bob. Go out and check out Florence and James on Twitter X. It's a Forum Celebrity podcast. They did the interviews with Bob, and they did the interviews with the Rick Podolsky, and they do fun interviews and stuff. They're very much into the same shit we're into.
Wish I would have known that.
Well, it's almost time to get.
Madden made football. Yeah, that's what I was going to get. So Madden made football fun for me. I never watch it now, says Terry Nee. It definitely, like we all said, it definitely expanded your understanding. No smoking, no token. Yeah, we didn't do much of that today, but the show's not done yet, FJM. What do you say we get into something fun? We didn't, let's see, we did that. That was a lot of fun. I knew they were going to be good friends to hang out with. I'm like, yes, Scott.
I refrained from asking the monkey question on that.
you close. We were almost there where we were kind of throwing some jokes around where you could have asked it and all, but I appreciate.
I'm sure they'll be back. You can ask it next time.
I think so too. And now that they, you don't want to, like I said, you've gone in some chats and hit people first thing with the monkey question. They're like, what is this? That's why you're banned from Tammy's site over there because you did that. Yeah. You pulled that shit on her. So let me see. I clicked off. Why did I click off social media recipes? We didn't do social media recipes. We did. Oh yeah, no, we didn't do that today. We did 5 letters of music. That's what I meant to click off today. I'm glad I thought to play that with them because there's been a couple times where we've had guests on here, and I'm like, ooh, that would have been a great way to kind of know them better. So I really love that for that reason right there, just to get them to know them a little better. Why don't we throw? I'm not going to try to fit in necessarily both sexy segments here at the end of the show. We'll do that another day. It is, let me see. Let's just have some fun and just end it with some internet Shyt. Why don't we do that? I'm going to play. That was a full day, a full show. First of all, let me go up in the chat. When things are going and flowing good, I didn't want to really interrupt the vibe of the show, if you will, or the flow of it. But I want to thank Tiffany Washington for throwing out, is this another $5 one?
Yeah, man.
That's the one from earlier. Let me see. Oh. That was the one from earlier. And then Pecan hit me with 2. Then he hit me with the membership. That's the second from from Tiff. And then Juggalette Jen hits me. I want to make sure I acknowledge all these. There's one I missed. Nice to meet you, Florence and James. I'm sorry I didn't get it up at the time, Juggalette Jen. I was struggling with the notion of interrupting what was going on with. I didn't want to be like cheap or crass and go, hey, by the way, let me throw a $2 thing at you, Jen. So thank you for understanding and sending me this on a Whack-A-Goal Wednesday, Juggalette Jen. Thanks for understanding. Sometimes the show is going to take another shape, and when we have guests, it certainly does. But I appreciate your 2, Jen. And then Reverend Wild Bill checked in sometime during those festivities, and he says he gave me a little hit and run piece. So somebody says we didn't smoke, so why don't we smoke? Since I didn't get to acknowledge that in real time. and the Rev is a smoker. Yeah, we didn't talk about, I didn't want to get into all that stuff, first getting to know people, Scott. I keep it old school like that. But I'm going to play the Donkey Kongington track, and Reverend Wild Bill, he said hit and run. Now, you might have just meant give me $2 and run, but when you say hit around me, I take you seriously. Let's go. Let's do another dab done for Donkey Kongington. Another dab dog for dunks. Doo-doo-doom, doom, doom. Another dab dog for dunks. And another dab done, and another dab done. Another dab done for dunk. Hey, gonna dab you. Another dab done for dunks. Another dab dog for dunks. Oh, Dice Godfrey. Oh, Dice Godfrey. Thank you, everybody, for all of that. Mandy Diff says, like it's 5 o'clock somewhere, it's 4:20 somewhere. It'll soon be 4:20 before long here on the East Coast of the United States. The dab is done for dunks. We did it. Happy 4:20 somewhere again from Mandy Diff. Well, there you go, folks. Bottom way, I said I was going to do internet shite, so I ran that. We did the dab, but don't let me forget to do what I'm doing, and let's do that little quick internet shite. That's right, BF Live the Vibe. I'm still so excited having that great interview and just hanging out. Thanks for everybody for hanging out here today. I'm going to show you a couple pieces of internet shite that I have. Just some random cool shit that when I'm out here looking for 3 hours of content today, I'm like, I need stuff to show to people. I threw this in Internet Hype, and I'm going to show it to you right here. This, let me know what you think about this first piece of internet shite right here on the Vibe. Look at this, guys. Watch this.
The number one question I get is how much
That is a cake. These are all cakes I'm about to show you here on Internet Shite.
Wow.
See that? Look at that, Scott. Look at the reality in these. All of these cakes. Watch.
I charge for my hyper-realistic cakes. I believe in pay transparency, so let's talk about it. The Le Creuset cake was $650, which may seem like a lot, but I have to make a living somehow. Right out there. The iPhone 15 cake is $999.
$999 in cake form?
But if you trade in your old iPhone at Verizon for this cake, you get it for cheaper. The Halloween candy bucket cake is free. I pass one out to every single trick-or-treater that comes to my door. If you're a hot dad that brings your kid to my house, you have to pay extra to see me in the sexy dress. Oh, you're going to...
Look at this. Now look at that. Does that not look like bowls of cereal?
All right, yeah.
I hate this. The cereal bowl cake, $5,000. Inflation is crazy. Groceries, cereal especially, very expensive these days. The Stanley thermos cake, $1 million. All y'all were fighting over Stanley tumblers this week at Target, so supply and demand. Oh, and the blow dryer is only $4 because I believe everybody deserves to look as hot and sexy as me. Oh, and then the eye mask cake is actually reserved for my lovers. If you're lucky enough to sleep with me, you get to eat it for free in the morning. The Crocs cake are just $2, but you do have to eat them off the floor, so there's a trade-off there. And the baby cake is priceless because you can't put a price on baby. And I'm like a really good dad.
And there you go. That's my first piece of internet shite. You know, Scott, I've seen stuff like that before, but those were a series of some of the most realistic cakes I've ever seen together.
Yeah, those were next level. He wasn't serious about those prices, was he?
I don't know, because he said like $999 and $1 million for the Stanley one. I don't think anybody's going to pay $1 million. You know, Scott, I believe him until he said $1 million. For that one. I'm like, I don't know about that one. But Scott, we're going to visit with Corbin Millette now on Internet Shite as we wind down this fun episode of BF Live The Vibe, where we had great guests today. I'm supercharged and super excited and appreciative that Florence, Carmela, and James Patrick from the Forum Celebrity Podcast just hung out with us for like the better part of like an hour and a half, almost the whole 2 hours that was available to them. This is Corbin Millette. He terrorizes his parents with putting stuff and pranks in his house. This time, let's see if mom likes this, Scott, or dad. Putting a wine gas pump in my parents' house. Now, mom likes to drink. Let's see what happens.
Gas pump in my parents' house.
A few weeks ago, I made my dad a whiskey gas pump, but my mom did not like it. So to make up for it, I made her own gas pump filled with wine.
What are you doing?
You see what this is?
A wine dispenser? Honestly, I had a really long week. Yeah, I could use
I knew she'd love it. I knew it.
Oh, yeah, Scott. Yeah, mom. Yep, we got the guesses. Look, Tiffany agrees with you.
How'd you love it? Grab a wine glass. Oh, look at that.
I need a bigger wine glass. How your dad always wants to keep the stupid shit. We're keeping this, and we're gonna keep filling it up. How your dad's always calling his friends.
Oh.
Tonight's a wine night.
Oh.
Calling friends. We're having wine tonight. You know how he's always posting stupid shit. I'm posting this.
She's
smiling.
Yeah.
She's smiling.
Where's my glass?
Nope, nothing for you.
Ooh, I didn't know it was coming out hot.
You have to make a fucking mess. You can think without me.
First time using a wine pump. Knew that happiness wasn't gonna last.
The happiness wasn't gonna last.
More cool things like this. I wouldn't be so pissed off all the time.
Yeah.
Think of me.
Oh, he thinks of me. In order to just keep you happy and not make you mad all the time. Not an easy task.
Mom did enjoy that one. The rare one that mom enjoys. You got to get her what she likes, what she needs. There you go. What is this one? What did I play this one already? Oh yeah, I didn't play this one already. Guys, I don't even know if this is a thing or not, if this is edible or this was almost a WTF. Oh, what the fuck is this? But this is internet shite. But it certainly qualifies. Watch. Your eyes aren't mistaken. That is a 3-dimensional triangular hamburger patty is what you're looking at. It's a pyramid. It's a burger pyramid. Yeah. Pyramid patty. It's one of the bad characters from Charlie Brown. Pyramid patty. BS. Bengals are going to see you, BS.
Oh.
BS.
Oh.
I thought you were in pain, Scott. You were doing walking like an Egyptian. I thought you stepped on something. Exactly, Tiff.
There's no way that's gonna cook it.
Look at the cheese. Come on, Scott. Yeah, they should have waited to have the buns crispy and hot at the end.
Yeah.
There you go. Or somebody better says, Pecan nailed it. He says, eat like an Egyptian. There you go. That is weird, wacky, crazy stuff. I saw that and I questioned it. I was stoned. Whoa, is that like a fucking 3-dimensional cheeseburger? That sounds like a name of a band too. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome 3-dimensional cheeseburger to the stage. All right. Let's see. I don't know. Let's show you this last piece I got, and then we're going to come back and do plugs. And being that it's Wednesday, middle of the day, middle of the week, we'll get to Bobby, Nick, and Scott and do some plugs and let you know where the fun's going to be happening right after this last piece of internet shite. What a fun day. I hope you guys had a great day and enjoyed Florence and James joining us today. Always trying to mix it up and bring you something different here on The Vibe every day, Monday through Friday. This is putting a giant bottle in my parents' front yard. Corbin Millette with his parents again. I don't think mom's going to like this as much as the wine.
Giant beer bottle in my parents' front yard.
Most people buy Santa Clauses, but since my parents are alcoholics, I figured a 20-foot beer bottle fit them better.
What is this, like the bat signal for beer drinkers? Like, hey, come over to my house if you want to get shit-faced, because I think there's more than a 12 fluid ounce.
Oh.
Get that 20-foot
Nice
Santa
big
Claus that
Molson.
you had.
Fuck
Hey, look at
yeah.
Bobby Nick. Look, you got our Canadian. You hit our Canadian's nerve.
Now I know how you got it up without me hearing it. I can't stand here and look at this thing without a beer in my hand. Take a picture of this and put it on Facebook. I'll let everybody know the bat signal. You see the...
Sorry.
Putting a giant beer
I
bottle
fucked up.
in
I
my
scrolled back.
parents' front.
Look at the big screen again, and I'll find it.
Look at me when I'm talking.
Putting a giant beer bottle in my parents' front yard.
Most people buy Santa Clauses.
God damn it.
Putting a giant beer bottle in my parents' front yard.
Most people buy
I hate
Santa
that scroll
Claus.
feature, Bobby Nick.
Putting a giant beer bottle in my parents' front yard.
Most people buy Santa Clauses, but since my parents are alcoholics, I figured a 20-foot
Can't
beer
scroll.
bottle fit them better.
What is this, like the bat signal for beer drinkers? Like, hey, come over to my house if you want to get shit-faced, because I think there's more than 12 fluid ounces, dude. Gotta get that 20-foot Santa Claus that you had. Make it look like he's drinking a beer. This thing isn't even noisy. Now I know how you got it up without me hearing it. I can't stand here and look at this thing without a beer in my hand. Take a picture of this and put it on Facebook. I'll let everybody know the bat signal. You see the 20-foot beer out here? You come on over.
Here comes Mom. There it is.
Molson Canadian beer bottle
If it
in
was
my...
like Corona or Noka or something.
No, I'm not a 21-year-old frat kid. I don't want a beer bottle. I want my 12-foot skeleton to be put up. You're not leaving that up.
Yeah.
All the neighbors are gonna look and be like, what the hell are we doing? Promoting Molson? Take it down. Take it fucking down. It's embarrassing.
Putting a
Mom
giant
did not like that. No surprises there, folks. And no surprise that we are at 1 minute after 3 o'clock now. We're kind of a little bit into overvibe, very little, but we're going to come back and do our plugs, folks. Why don't we do that now? Let me do. I was going to do my little override bit. And let's pull this fun train into the station. Now, Andrew the Giant already checked out. I heard them coming in the room after I let him back in, and they're like, hey, time's up and all that stuff. So I'll run Andrew's plugs real quick and let you know that you can catch my friend Andrew the Giant. I want to apologize for him in the sense that, I didn't want to have him on screen the entire time. I think most people understand that. But check out Andrew the Giant full time when he's doing his thing on the Andrew the Giant channel, as I look for his plug video that I will run for you right here, Elements. And I will go to Andrews, and I will run Andrews to let you know that you can catch up with my friend Andrew the Giant on the Andrew the Giant 96 channel right here on the YouTube. He has over 40,500 subscribers. And No Filter with Andrew. That's Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays with Scott and Bobby Nick and Andrew and all the like two joints. That's No Filter. That's what they do on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Thank you, Andrew. And thank you for understanding, bro, for not being here for the entirety of the show. Guys, enjoy Andrew when you get a chance there right here on YouTube. Now I'm going to go to Scott Fitzpatrick. Scott, thanks for being here today. I appreciate you, bro. You've been here from the beginning. I appreciate it. Any last words, observations, or plugs from Scott Fitzpatrick?
I'm going to make mine quick because I got to piss like a Russian.
Ooh, me too, probably, Scott. Sorry, I didn't do a piss break. Go, buddy, go.
That's all right. Tonight's boner show, which Bobby Nick will give you the appropriate time since I always fuck it up. But at Bobby Nick 1978, the Lunatic Lounge Boner Show, and today sometime I'm going to post a Daniel Larson getting kicked out of a men's bathroom, and he just kind of set up shop in there, and he's going to live in it, I think. So that'll be later on Angry Iguana 112, and I got to piss.
All right, Scott, well, go ahead and go do your piss, man. I appreciate you not only staying, but understanding that I didn't want to take a piss break and stop what was a good flow of the show. Thank you, Scott Fitzpatrick. I'm going to take you out so you go. Scott Fitzpatrick gets out of here. I pulled him off so he wouldn't feel obligated to hang around any longer than he could or piss his pants. I don't want to be responsible for any grown-ass people pissing their pants. All right, folks, it's that time in the show where I turn it over to Bobby Nick. So you need paper and something to write with because he's going to probably kick out more shows than you can probably remember off the top of your head. So, Bobby Nick, tell everybody where the fun's going after this show.
Well, at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, you can check me out in the lounge. Fuck yeah. We'll be doing it and having over there with some music videos, guys. Yeah, and for the low price of $1, you can see your music video request on my show, or gift a membership or gift a sub and get 6 requests that never expire. They're credited to your account, guys. So yeah, my lifetime guarantee.
Yes, my favorite thing is the Bobby. I didn't want to step on you. My favorite thing is the Bobby Nick lifetime guarantee, where typically a membership costs $5, but for $1 a song, if you buy a $5 membership, he'll give you a $6 value for that. Meaning he'll give you 6 requests, and those requests last as long as Bobby Nick does. It's the Bobby Nick lifetime guarantee. As long as Bobby Nick is alive and doing podcasts, those credits will be valid the whole time. So good luck with that. It's the Bobby Nick lifetime guarantee. Check out Bobby Nick in the lounge, starting off on both YouTube and Rumble immediately following this show. Go put your request in for $1 a piece, switch over to Rumble, and he'll play them all for you immediately following this show. My friend Bobby Nick, thank you for joining me today.
And then also tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, like Scott was saying, we got the Lunatic Lounge Boner Show. Members only. So member up at Bobby Nick 1978. And you can see that. And then after that, about 11:15, I think, we'll be doing a late night with Bobby Nick. And I think Pika might have some matches for us to watch tonight. So
awesome.
That should be nice.
All right, folks. But did you see? I wasn't just lying to you and just saying things to be silly or anything. Did you grab paper and a pen? Because you ain't going to remember all that, but I hope you did. And if you didn't, all you have to do is turn on your computer or device, and Bobby Nick will likely be on the air.
Oh, yeah.
This was a fun banner day for me. You guys can tell, hopefully, and my enthusiasm comes through that I enjoy and love doing this stuff. Thank you so very much for hooking up with Florence and James from the Forum Celebrity Podcast. Once again, great guests. I went off a vibe. I went off of a feeling of just seeing them do that interview with Bob and the things that they liked and in the way they engaged him and talked to him. I'm like, you know what? My vibe tells me that these are great people, and I'm glad that I can trust in my vibe to be true. Again, thank you, Florence, Carmela, and James Patrick from the Forum Celebrity Podcast. Check them out. Go see that Bob interview. Go learn about how Pat Summerall got matched up with John Madden when neither one of them were really quite good on their own and all. Lots of fun stuff, lots of good stories from James and Florence. And thank you, everybody, for joining us here every day. Andrew the Giant, once again, Scott Fitzpatrick, and Bobby Nick, and the chat family. Thank you all very much. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Go hang out with Bobby Nick in the lounge. And like we say around here, folks, we don't say bye. We just say bye for now because we know we're going to see you the next time we see you right here on The Vibe, folks. So, like, again, for all my bros, as I'm stalling to pull up my closer video, have a great Westier Wednesday, you wascally wabbits. Take care, peace, and love, and we'll see you the next time we see you right here on The Vibe, folks, which is hopefully 12 p.m. tomorrow East. Later, folks. Peace and love. Bye for now. Here we go. Boom.
That's enough internet for me today. I am going to wash myself with holy water to get rid of all the stupidity I saw today.
Jackie Mason. Fucking Bobby's fucking funny. Bobby Grant. I gotta give it to you.
Line of the day, Bobby
Super creative, super original. There's a show called The Vibe.
Chat family.